less with? Andrew's comment or this one here that says Snoopy is going to have his year, ladies and gentlemen. Snoopy will make one of the CDL All-Star teams this year. First of all, is this decided by statistics? Is this decided by fan vote? Because I do not see Boston Breach winning any fan votes.
Well, I'm going to give a lot of credit to our fans here. They've been pretty good, honestly. But the last, if they voted on the last All-Star
situation Snoopy has been in. This is the best roster that he's been in this year. So if he's going to do it, it would be.
If there was a time to make a big leap, it's right now. In a game like this, where you can wall bounce, you can make big plays. The SMG's in a very good spot,
and now
he's got nasty with him. Right? It's just a good team.
All right, let's take a look at the last hot take that is coming in, and this one, Cricket Fan 19. I think we could disagree or agree with you. LA Thieves to not win an event. I currently agree with you. They will not win an event with this current lineup, but I think after Major 2, you will see some shakeups, and you will see a championship caliber squad ready to close out the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, if you were telling me all the juggernaut teams, they'd be the one that I'm like, okay, if they don't perform early, then I would believe that they're on roster watch. But let's throw that out the window. We're just starting, right?
This season hasn't even started. We're sitting at 0-0, but this is where the community thinks we are currently landing with the best ARs. If you're looking for the anchor, maybe even a top slayer, look no further than the men on this screen, and it is so incredible to see a young man in his 4th, 5th event, Mercules, wearing the crown ahead of players like Dashy, Scrap. You even got, Celium's down, in the 4th tier here?
Hey, look, I'm telling you, at the very bottom of this pyramid, all these players should be fighting whoever made this, because Kleenex was an AR for, half a season? And he's already above the likes of Draws.
Yes.
The fact that Draws is at the bottom is also insane to me, especially considering what we saw in the preseason tournaments. I don't know how I feel about.
And what are you moving up? What are you moving down?
Yeah, I'm moving Rencor up. I think Rencor he was a superstar on this league last year.
Who does he move down then? Ghosty, Abuza, or Sib?
I'm probably moving Sib down. Right? I mean, but Sib in the preseason so far has been electric. I'm adding an extra player to the pyramid on every level.
We're expanding the pyramid.
Yeah. I'm told we got to stay on schedule. And speaking of it, we've got 3 matches coming your way. It is opening day here on the Call of Duty League for Black Ops 7. We're going to see Optic Texas facing off against Riyadh Falcons. Boston Breach at 4:30 plays against Carolina Royal Ravens. And then, of course, it is Simp, Draza, Abuza, and 04 taking on Scrap and the LA Thieves. That could be the best match of the day. Allie, how many of these go to a Game 5?
All of them. All 3 of them.
They're all going to Game 5. Lock in, ladies and gentlemen. More CDL on the other side of this break.
Scuff, the official controller of the CDL.
Monster Energy, official energy drink of the CDL.
Off our Stage 1 Season 1 here with a official kickoff to a fun year of travel. Now, name which we're going to 4 different places, and this time the European fans are going to get a little sample of what we bring to land.
Yeah, I mean, they're in for a treat. We're going to be going to Birmingham. That's going to be awesome. And then also, Major 1 tickets are on sale right now. So headed back to Dallas for our first stop. Obviously, Optic won a World Championship. Crowd's going to be
This is the way to start the year, right? We're coming out with a bang. It's been 6 months since we've been on NA soil. We are ready for you guys to get loud in person. Get your tickets right now as they are on sale. And if you can't make it out to Texas, don't worry. You've got plenty of time between now and the end of June to get in on the action. We're going international there for our DreamHack events. Make sure you check out what we're doing in Birmingham. And then, of course, when we head to Paris, that could be event of the year.
I'm going to love this little NA-EU battle we have going on because we're split right in the middle. We're going to be going to Paris. We're going to be going to Birmingham. So that means Optic Texas, y'all are going to have to give us some serious high bars when it goes to that crowd energy for that #1 event.
And we got some good news if you're a player.
We do.
If you didn't make it to the pro level, if you're a young guy making your move over from Halo, we have a home for you in Call of Duty. We call it Challengers. And some Halo players are already on starting lineups, but I expect people like Renegade to take over this scene if you're not careful. The Huntsmen announcing their squad. So many other teams starting to put together star-studded rosters from other titles, and emerging faces are growing here in the Challengers unit.
And we got one in the league. Everybody knows Legend. If you're familiar with the Halo scene at all, he's going to be over on Surge trying to develop and, just be patient with them. We've seen a ton of Halo players come in and develop, but let's talk about Challengers. We are going to have Challengers at every single event this year. I can't tell you how important that is to the ecosystem of Call of Duty. When I was coming up, you could just buy a team pass, come in, compete, and make a name for yourself. So there has to be a healthy environment.
I did that back in the day.
Exactly, Allie. It has to be a healthy environment for these guys, and I think this is going to be the best year of Challengers that we've ever had in the CDL.
I completely agree with you, and it's always exciting, right? Like, I just remember my first couple of years watching COD, the best times and the best moments for me that I remember when Challengers teams, the amateur teams came up and did something versus the big dogs and solidified their spots, and even Merc last year was proving something. So.
4 elite seasons and a Pro-Am at Major 3. It's all going down in Black Ops 7, and of course, we've got a new game mode in the new title. Let's revisit what will be Game 3 and every best of 5 out with control, in with overload. A new objective-based game mode with 2 scoring locations for each team. Now that objective, it's got 3 pickup spots, but talk to me about it in the big picture. How does this play out compared to something you might have seen in previous Call of Duty?
Yeah, how does this play out? It's super fast pace. There's an EMP, as Chris mentioned, 3 different spawn locations that will alternate. You want to get that EMP. There's 2 zones that you can, download the EMP into to get yourself a point. And you're going to see teams kind of playing quick, but then slow down when they get close to goal and try to set up plays, right? So it's a lot of like on your mini map, setting up plays, pinching at the same time, and then knowing when you actually have that opportunity to score. It's super fast paced. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of having to switch between offense and defense very quickly. Like Ann said, the pacing's going to be insane. Think about, capture the flag. Think about uplink. It's very similar to those game modes, and I think it's fun. It's going to be fun to see what kind of strategies the teams try to strive for and where they're going to lean, if they're going to be more offensive, if they're going to be more defensive. I think there's a lot of different ways you can approach this.
Overload will be in every Game 3. You get a chance to see it for the first time today with the new update. You carry a pistol while you have that EMP, and of course, you're going to overtime. We've got some new rules. We'll discuss that later if needed. In the meantime, I want to know, are snipers going to make it in? Because in all the launch events, Nameless, we got our first peek at what the highlights could look like at the end of tonight. Abuza here in our first highlight. Kismet getting involved. All of these players showcasing they got the boomstick.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge portion of the Call of Duty community that just only snipes, right? So it only makes sense that it should have some representation in the pro scene. And then also, it just changes the dynamic in how you play the game, right?
Yeah, it adds another element.
Exactly. It's not always an advantage. It's sometimes a liability. You've seen it plenty of times. If
and with the wall jumps, too?
If he's not finding his kills and he's stuck with a pistol, you're going to be at a disadvantage. So you already see, and this is from, 2 days of gameplay? We've seen so many crazy clips.
And I'll tell you what, nothing is more aggravating than getting killed by a sniper as many times as sometimes these players do. That first clip in that series where Abuza had it out, you could see how frustrated Kismet was getting with that sniper rifle, pulled one out of his own and started dominating. So just being able to see the emotions from the players and the kind of way it makes them feel and change their gameplay is just going to be so interesting to watch.
This guy's had the best sniper of the tournament, by the way. That was it right there to clutch up a 1v3. We're going to have more clips coming your way and a ton. We saw a few raid highlights there. There's going to be returning maps from previous titles as well as new ones. What are you looking forward to, Allie?
Like map-wise, the 3 lanes, it's very traditional, reminiscent of old traditional COD, and the pacing is going to be a lot more punishable, I feel like, when it comes to maps like this, because there's not as many angles and as many doors that you can bust through when you make a mistake. And personally, I love Den. We're looking at Colossus right now, but you'll see the Den, to me, kind of looks like Gridlock from Black Ops 4.
Yeah, I think we're starting in a really good spot here, Chris, Allie. I like a majority of these maps, and we got a bunch of new maps also added in Season 1 yesterday, right? So I think it's going to be ever-changing as the season goes on, but you're seeing a montage here. Den, just a beautiful map. As I mentioned, 3 lanes. You can make some plays, though. You can get lost. You're looking at exposure here, a bigger map. Also 3 lanes, but there are some obstructions in the middle of the map where if you're an SMG player, you can close that distance. There's not just dominant AR power spots. Now you're looking at the classic raid.
The classic.
It plays way different now, though, because of the wall running and a bunch of different spots. The evolution of the map. See water stairs, you can just fly off the top. Up top bedroom right here, it takes 1 second to get from bottom to top, so traditional power spots aren't as dominant.
6 minutes away from the first matches of the 2025 and 2026 CDL season for Black Ops 7. Lock in, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 3 matches coming your way, starting with Optic Texas taking on the Riyadh Falcons. It's going to be a spicy banger to open things up.
Official controller of the CDL.
Monster Energy, official energy drink of the CDL.
I'm on inner. Watch my inner. Inner dead. Where on me? Oh my god!
Play from Texas.
Oh no! That was disgusting.
My god!
That was gross.
That was the coolest play I've ever seen.
Disgusting.
Yo, I just ninja still winning in COD. I just hit a ninja in COD. Bro.
Yeah, and he did that before the season kicked off. Just imagine the highlights that are coming our way. Welcome back, everybody. It's Pucking alongside Nameless and Rosalie, and we're about to jump into the first match. Optic Texas, world champions. On the other side, 12th place last year, Riyadh Falcons. So let's start here with our world champions in Optic Texas. Expectations from the community right now, Allie. Should they go flawless this year? Are they just favorites to start off as the best? How good is this team?
Honestly, from what they showed us in these preseason tournaments, yeah, they should go flawless. They look unbelievable. The consistency is still there. They obviously feel great on this game. And my favorite thing about Shotzi is he surprises himself with some of the things that he does on the map. Like, how are you shocked? You're the one doing it. So for me, I think Optic Texas, we said it earlier, S-tier team, fantastic. And I think for me, I'm just kind of excited to see what they do.
Yeah, I think the problem for the rest of the league is, you know, these guys have all the momentum in the world. And on top of that, we're on a new title. And I think everybody would agree that the way this game plays, it should be a lot better for Hook and Dashy individually.
Yes.
And if those guys get back to like their prime form, it is going to be extremely hard to beat them. So as it stands right now, there is a bullseye on their back and everybody is trying to figure them out and take their top spot.
Can you explain that? Why do you think this is better for Dashy and Hook?
Sure. Dashy, the current meta right now is the M15. Any type of hybrid gun where you can play extremely aggressive and win gunfights versus an SMG up close, that is when Dashy's at his best, when he can go streaking. And then you couple that with the movement of Hook.
Yep.
We talk about Shotzi a lot. Hook's got some movement
Hook's
now.
got some crazy movement. He's a little bit more crazy than Shotzi sometimes. You get Hook in the flow state, you can't kill that guy.
On the other side of this fight, we got 60 seconds to break down the Riyadh Falcons. So let's make this fast and furious. Alley Cat, I want to start with you. Celium, highest paid player, I assume, on this team. But who do you think has the highest ceiling? Is it the same guy?
The highest ceiling? I almost want to say Pred. I think this game should fit Pred's game style incredibly well. But I do want to turn the conversation to what I did see. It feels like Kismet's still a bailout player for this team. I don't feel like they have that chemistry yet. So for them, I think just getting these reps in and kind of feeling the pace and the flow of this game outside of scrims is going to be really important for their development.
Yeah, I mean, once again, you know, we talked about a lot last year with the Falcons roster. It's like, will they play the right way? Will the teamwork be there, right?
Yeah.
Like, can they slow it down and get a break when they need to get that break? Maps and modes here, we're gonna get a double dose of Den, some scars, some exposure. We did have a change on exposure. For those of you who haven't been able to get on for season 1, P4 is a little bit different. Bottom ring, they made it a room now. So a bit easier to hold. It's gonna be, I can't wait to see how the pros decide.
They gave us a room?
Yeah, it's a room.
God,
It's not just bottom ring.
The Dens are so good this year. I hope we get to our Game 5. Scar has been the highlight for me throughout the early tournaments. It's just the perfect battleground for the new title. We've got predictions coming in here, friends and family, in the chat. Can I get your final thoughts on this matchup, Nameless? Starting with you, players to watch, and where are you going?
Yeah, I mean, players to watch, I'm gonna be watching Exnid. We talked about it, you know, earlier on. Like, he has to have some development. This roster, they bought in. They got some big ticket players. I'm excited for this Riyadh Falcons team to see how far they can go.
But Optic today?
Oh yeah, everybody pick your poison. Optic's
He's going Optic. 3-0?
Yeah, I'm going Optic with a 3-1 victory.
3-1. Okay, Allie?
I know what I said earlier when I said it was all going to be Game 5 today. I'm definitely going Optic Texas in a 3-0. I think they're going to be unreal.
Optic Texas is going to open off the season the same way they did the Monster Energy launch. We're sitting here in the same set. I think you're going to see a 3-0. They were perfect in the winner's bracket. This should be a layup for them to kick things off. Am I wrong? We just had a new patch. It's time to find out as we send it to the casters to kick off this season. We got Miles Ross and Chance.
Hello, comrades. You all look fantastic. Getting to see knees and ankles now. Woo, Black Ops 7. It's all coming out, brother. But yeah, let's be real. Let's lock in 10% more. Very, very excited to finally get the league underway.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time, and especially the match that we're starting with, right? Optic Gaming, obviously, back-to-back world champs. Everybody's excited for that. And then the Riyadh Falcons, a team that I don't even know necessarily how to describe the expectations, because I think the community is like sort of on like the negative side for the squad, but everyone knows that they have absolutely lethal potential. I just know this is the most excited I've been for a listen in quite some time.
And that's saying a lot because we've had some good ones over the last few years. But yeah, very, very high expectations for the Riyadh Falcons. We'll see how that plays out today. Optic Texas, if you have been living under a rock, the preseason tournaments for one player indeed have been very good. Mercules looking superb. They didn't win necessarily, Case on Shadow and 8. We went late into the night in Dallas there, but Mates coming out on top of that one. For now, though, to lock back in furiously, friends, into Scar we go. The first match of the 2026 Call of Duty League season, and it is bound to be a banger. A green team throwdown here on Scar. So hot will melt the snow. Chance, early predictions for not just the series ahead, but I suppose for the map.
This to me feels like sort of one of the more like almost standard hardpoint maps in terms of like hill variants. You have your P3, you need to lock it down. You have the very much preferred side that has the high ground type deal. You've got the chaotic P4s. It feels the most sort of normal, even with like the new dynamics getting thrown in the mix. So this to me feels like a map that if you're better on this map, you're just a better team. So I think skill is going to run through.
I like the sound of that. You're just a better team in general. We're going to see a lot more of that map when we load into it. Of course, a slight technical delay to get us rolling here. Hey guys, get the jitters out early, right? Get them out now rather than later. S&D and Overload, we're going to be playing Den back-to-back. Dens. How are we feeling about overloading them in the year, Chance? We'll talk about it a lot later, but well, we've got the opportunity to run a podcast of our own. How you feeling?
It's been extremely fun so far. I know this is at least my first look at seeing it with the new change of the pistol being the primary weapon you actually pick up the device. So a very different dynamic than what we're accustomed to, but the game mode I think is at least exceeded my expectations for how much fun it's been. And then the map we have from Optic, when you're playing on Den, it's an incredibly rotation heavy map. You can throw a lot of fakes. You have to be very careful about where the new device is going to be spawning and setting up for it early. I think that's why Optic's going to be incredibly happy to play on it. They've had the early lead in the game mode. They got the leg up on everybody else. This is a map where you get a flex off the good. So I think it's going to be a fun time the entire way through. And by God, do they look good.
I am digging it, man. Well, there we go. First look at some of the jerseys our players will be wearing throughout the year. And Headband Celium. Oh my word, have we unlocked a new mode? He's evolved. Somebody gave him a candy, and he's gone and leveled all the way up. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Take 2 into our first match of the 2026 CDL season. Optic Texas taking on Riyadh Falcons. Scar Hardpoint.
I just hope that headband is something that can measure like brainwaves. I want to see what type of like calculus this guy's doing in game.
Wow. Is he hooked up to an EKG machine? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Strap in, strap on, lock in. It's P1 we go, right smack bang in the middle of the map, right next to that gigantic immense four-legged weapon of war. Speaking of weapons of war, you're looking at one right now. Hook opens up the first kill of the map for the Optic boys. So far, all good. Nice 3 dead there. Looking at time as well.
Yeah, and you are nice and comfortable on the time as well. I mean, that is easy treats. Everything going smoothly. Dashy gets to be the super soaker, and right now the Riyadh Falcons, I mean, a couple routes being taken maybe to try to go towards new, but right now these white arrows moving a little bit slow, and this is a P1 that has been perfect.
Yeah, and speaking of perfect so far, it's Hook as well. And nearly, wow, a bullet away from absolute perfection. Great time so far for Optic Texas out of our first hard point. Final 10 seconds done. We're going to go into the motel, low left-hand side of the minimap, of that large red-roofed building for you with the eyeballs.
And I'm trying to keep track of how many Riyadh players actually touched the objective. Kismet at least made it on to contest for a few seconds, but even on the rotation, Optic are going to be there first. Mercury's already reading the spawns, and they're getting all the kills. Yeah, I'm thinking the desk prediction might have been pretty on point there, Miles.
Not too far off. Young Merc looking to get the Hellstorm as well. A fan favorite and a Black Ops classic. If you watched any of last year's season, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's not going to happen. It's all dead. Optic wiped off the board. Riyadh Falcons on time.
They're fighting back. I'm worried about this being a team that can maybe be a little bit scared of going near the actual objective. Hey, once they got it, complete takeover. Now you're sort of being the ones that are pushing the pace. Celium's there to collect too. You're pushing out. You're going to flip the spawns. And Riyadh Falcons, it might have taken them a hill and a half, but they've woken up.
We're very much there. Looking towards new as well. Top side of the map, we go to the crashed plane. Work here from Pred on old, just finding the final few seconds. Through shop now, the rotation through mid, a lot of angles to be worrying about here on Scar, but you've got the Falcons in first. They've won the rotation. Exnid, the man on the screen there, has taken a whole heap of shrapnel, but he's still alive, doing what he can to stay here on time. Pred and still join him in the feed, and it's another 3 dead for the time being. Optic on the back foot.
Yeah, Riyadh Falcons, they got the high ground spawns, they got the better power positions. If you ever get the clearance to push up and get that covered, you're gonna be good. You're watching the pins, Dashy's there, and well, he gives you 2. But it's not quite enough. You still hold on to the time. Riyadh Falcons, they've woken up. They're on point. Preferred spawns treating them oh so sweet. It has been a wonderful P3.
It's been a wonderful P3 and a litty one at that. Enough gameplay. Let's go for a listen.
We are, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pushing. Watch out. Trying to be search on anything. We're missing one.
I have left.
One guy's on me, road.
I think we are.
I got time.
And B cut.
I have your help, miss.
No, one shot.
I think one shot.
In shop, he's in shop. First guy accident. We got
Shot, watch out. He went blue.
Might spawn us out.
They probably did.
Yeah, we spawned out. I spawned set.
They're gonna be a couple
back,
behind us.
Yeah, he's pushed up set.
Yo, one shot on time, X-Nade.
Absolutely.
X is
One's
absolutely
in the back on the overload point. He's going front wall. I'm behind in the back. Another in the back right.
Yo, on me front wall.
On the box.
Front wall dead. Another one
Back
on time, X-Nade. On time, X-Nade.
Go back right somewhere.
One back left. One top left.
On the stairs.
Go back left.
There's on me in the back. Spawn track. What's front track?
يا عمري يا سيليوم يا عمري يا سيليوم. That's him. Nice.
We'll go left. Blue me probably.
خلوه يتكي فوق شوي. خليه يتكي.
Everything at time.
I have the right.
Yo, Yo, he's laying down front side. Excellent.
I'm really good at that. Really tough.
Yeah, make sure we hold
One is
these
front
new
side.
swans.
One is front side.
Make sure we hold these new swans. Where are we spawning?
Nice left.
One shot back.
I'm hard blocking. I'm top
Just
broken.
run
I'm top
out.
broken.
Or wood. One could have spawned out wood. One could have spawned out wood.
I'm picking out. I'm
Yeah,
picking
let's spawn out. We're good.
Nothing wood. Nothing wood.
Alright, one's at wood.
Okay, I'm staying top green. I have a
I have
trap on
right
you.
side wood. I have right side wood.
Just
تلعب بسولد
Hellstorm?
I'm gonna go top green.
I'm helping mid. I'm helping mid. Probably gonna hit like
Yeah,
shot.
I'll pick it the back one. I'll pick it the back in a second.
I'm in shop.
Not a bad listening chance. Slow moving Hellstorm there to help keep the hill clear. And Reality Falcons with the lead.
Yeah, now you're trying to run it straight up. I mean, it's literally an uphill battle. Kismet's going to be leading that charge. He definitely has cover looking over top, but not easy when you get there. Easy breeds and easy gunfights won by Optic. Exnid, last man standing, but Optic not even a hurry. Collecting on the time, got everything under control.
Not a huge amount of time. Here comes the next wave of Falcons players with the mid damage of shots. Not for any kills just yet. We're waiting for a bit more noise here. It's Mercury's in the feed. Catching his. Dashy gets another one done. And young Shotzi soaking it away there on time.
Yeah, I'd love to see it as well if you're an Optic fan. Shotzi had a little bit of slow start to this map, but certainly keeping things up. And I mean, he's caught right back up to the rest of the lobby. So things looking good there. All things considered, the fact that it was a 60-0 start, I thought we were shaping ourselves up for a blowout, but Falcons did wake up. We got a battle, and now they're the ones in control of P1.
And the blowout we've got going on for the Falcons right now is everyone's great hair. Still trying to take the lead back, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's back over to P1. Second set on us. First set was very much a test for both of our squads. A strong start from the Optic boys. But right now, Celium on a 4-spree halfway towards his Hellstorm. Can he get him some time out? Nah. Shotzi going to continue to find time and kills. Lovely scoreline for them now. As Anthony Cuevas Castro has pulled himself back from a big old deficit. He's looking at 13, now 14-13 on a spree. He's come alive.
Yeah, and this is a delicate situation as well. Kismet right now desperately trying to fight two players, waiting for his teammates to be the reinforcements to get in, and Pred wins a massive gunfight against Shotzi to make sure your flank is secured. Now it's all guns forward. You get the rotation P2, you get the first 3 kills, and Riyadh Falcons, they're down by 20 going into the new hill, but they have everything under control.
That's another 3 dead. They know exactly where Optic are spawning. They press forward at the last possible second. Exnid aware of the fact that the flip could be on alongside Celium. Not enough for that second kill, and now an awkward series of spawns. This is going to be a moment for Optic to get in and break. You'll definitely take that, and you will be smiling with the lead now starting to grow.
Yeah, and they're trying to work on that funnel system as well. Hook was the furthest man pushed up. Mercury's trying to follow that into place. Everybody sort of filling into that conga line system you got going. More or less swarm, though, around P2, and an interesting spawn from Hook. You got Falcons players everywhere surrounding the hill. They need to break quick.
They're trying to find these kills, but it's not happening. Mercury's holding it down with an iron fist. The pistol into the back. A 5 spree on time. The shoulder shimmy. One more for the streaky. No! Hits the wall jump. No kill there, but I'm loving what I'm seeing early. Dashy there, the final few moments on time. Rotation is on. Shotzi there. He gets first. He gets brought down. Riyadh Falcons now once again win the rotation play.
Yeah, and they got the left side spawns as well. So this is deja vu all over again. Selling though, he is pressured out and still wins the gunfight. If there's any main AR that's going to be twisted, he's top of the list, but he's also completely surrounded. He lost the left side spawns. Every one of his teammates falls. Dashy on a 4 spree coming in from old time, and well, now Shotzi in a credit.
Oh, the ultimate credit. Good for 2 here, right? Here comes the first. Wait for the patient play. Textbook Shotzi. That is exactly what you wanted. Oh boy, gets himself 3. Pred, the last man left alive for the Falcons, and Optic are starting to figure it out.
And now you want to try to turn the rest of this hill into a blender and let the gunfights come to you. You stay L-triggered. Merc's there for 2. Shotzi there for the follow-up kills. Everything singing sweet. And what was once a close game, Optic have certainly found their form and blown it open. Dashy at the start of the hill, and Shotzi, well, he's there for the kill. And how about those spawns? Optic ahead of the game.
You're way ahead of it. The funnel now, Mercury's 1 by 1. He nearly kills them all. What unbelievable skill Over to the new hard point we go, and Optic, they've set it up like a fortress, looking to find the win here in map number 1. Kyler Garland finding his kills on the right flank. Shotzi on a 7 spree as well. He might have just picked up a few more, but no need. It is Big Brucey eating good. They're on time. Next wave of players now for the Falcons, and it has to be magic.
Yeah, it is not going to be either. This is just going to be a victory lap. You have to cross through the no man's land of hell just to funnel in through a stairwell. Dashy gets L-triggered, and you trade him out, but the battle you have ahead of you, 5 more seconds and the game is over. Maybe good news, the Hellstorm is going to be completely ineffective. Bad news is, again, you have to play beyond perfect Call of Duty.
This is typically what happens. So you're going to see a strong resurgence now from the Falcons. When the going has got tough, the tough will get going, but it's not enough. It's 5 seconds for the win now for Optic. A few more seconds over towards New Hook once again, the man of the moment, Mr. Rotation himself. The Pred has sniffed it out. A retreat now from Mercules, trying to guarantee the spawns. They're good. Shotzi making his way towards time. Exnid now on the race. Can he get himself in there? Hook, the point man, in towards it. 3 dead in the feed, and that is going to be map 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Optic Texas win their first hard point of the 2026 season.
On form, just another day at the office for those lads, and even the little things that on day 1 they're already doing right. You're rotating that final hill. You only need 5 more seconds. Do you want to turtle up in the back of your base, allow the Falcons to get the space on the map? No, you don't. They just layered their map so effectively. Like, you see the 2-piece Preds picking up in the middle of the map. Doesn't make a difference. They're going to spawn over towards the new time anyway, making sure you got to kill the 2 waves, and Optic truly just dialed into the game mode already. Shotzi was telling us, Miles, that he's got 20% of it figured out. I don't know what that final 80% is going to be, but it is going to be a nightmare. 25 and 22 out of him, but every single player on Optic, as has been tradition, provides.
Everybody doing their thing. Shotzi Dashi, the kings of the hill, there for the Optic squad. For the Falcons, the other side of the board, a difficult start, of course. No one wants to play the back-to-back world champions in their first match of the league, but a wonderful test indeed. Highlights here, folks, from map number 1. And we got it all. Some good stuff there to start off our Scar hard point. Flanks on flanks, great rotations, lovely spawn awareness. I mean, the same thing for the Falcons as well, but Charles, what's the big difference maker from you here? What really separated the Optic from the Falcons?
Well, I mean, you'd say the team effort, or maybe just Shotzi having a slow start, where even with a slow start, they just won the first 2 hills and built themselves a massive lead. So by the time Shotzi sort of catches the flow state, figure things out, he just goes on some massive runs. I think he had maybe 3 different 5 sprees on this map alone, all of them basically coming in the second half, and just those little takeover moments that makes the game so much easier for the rest of your teammates, so much so that Mercules gets to dance with them. I mean, just looking at the mini-map towards the end, so many situations where Optic were just in complete control, and the management of the map couldn't ask for too much more.
A single lead change is all you got, Falcons fans, I'm afraid. Certainly course corrected, but a flat line. The second set of hard points, Optic running it all the way home. Third, we only got to see a single point there, but that is how that cookie crumbled, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 1 in the books. The first win there of the 2026 season. And Optic certainly feeling good about it. I don't think there are too many issues, too many sort of problems they were worried about. Of course, respawn game modes as a squad that have not made a change. The only squad to really not make a change. Certainly going to help them there. Den, Search and Destroy coming up now. And Overload to follow it up. We will see Overload no matter what in every series, folks. And it is going to be fun. Chance, Search and Destroy, Den, rotation heavy. Only one of the lanes doesn't have a sort of sneaky cut. That's the outside castle section. So you have to worry about that long line. What are your thoughts and feels about Den, especially in Search?
I think it's a very fun map, rotation heavy, but in like a largely safe environment, like a lot of, especially on the attack where you're going for the show B early on, wrap back towards A, try to play with the timings, or if you can just take control of the middle of the map, very big access point to both of the bomb sites. And it's also a map where I think you have a lot of different sort of playmaking opportunities. Even like the wall jumping that you can do, this is like an unexplored portion like early on, but even off the map over towards the B site, you can sit there and juggle and be completely hidden from view. I'm not good enough to make any magic happen, but I've seen some like S&D kids pull it off, and I know that's the type of thing that Hook and Shotzi are going to have dialed in. So I think it's going to be a fun map. It has a lot of breadth to it, and I think even just the fact that we get to see snipers is going to be a fun time. Dashy's absolutely elite with it. I'm excited to see it. I don't know who's going to be using it for the Falcons, if at all. Obviously, a few of them can. Kismet in like the preseason tournament was pulling it out from time to time, but between him or Celium, I think that's you know, you're dancing with the devil. Pick your poison.
Yeah, pick your poisons. Everyone in this lobby can put together a good montage. There's no doubt about it. I'm very excited to see what Cell can do with that snipe. High sensitivity player. I'm not sure what the numbers are in this game, but he was in the 10s, horizontal at the very least. The verticals are also pretty high up. So that boy can do it. And I'm excited to see what he can do in this game with the rifle. If he's the player to snipe, I mean, that's the question. Anyone on the Falcons roster could feasibly get it done. For Optic, of course, it has been dashy, tried and true. The man knows his way around a big gun. Let's face it, folks. Back to Piccadilly, BO4, you name it. Brucey putting in the work. Excited to see how Den goes, folks. We're going to get into that in a moment. As far as Den, chances we've obviously seen quite a decent amount of the off-season games. Right, as you say, rotation heavy. For the new folks at home, what does that mean? Does that mean that we're going to be lots of flanking? Does that mean we're going to be seeing lots of bombs go from different sites, faking things out? Like, how would you describe this in layman's terms?
If your plan A is to attack either bomb site or any given lane, a rotation means you start there and you rotate the bomb somewhere else. You start going towards the right lane, then you rotate through mid, you can rotate back to your spawn. It is just the big movement around the map. I mean, if you play other sort of FPS games and then you compare it to COD, COD is lightning quick with how fast you can be with these types of decisions. So this is even, I mean, we don't do listen-ins and S&D, but the level of communication you have to have in particular moments in this game mode in Call of Duty, it's absolutely electric. You have to be on point. You can never hesitate, and you always have to make sure you're on the same page as a team. And again, for the side of the Falcons, the roster construction that was designed, it's going to be a big talking point for the team. I'm just interested to see who's like the bomb planner for the squad. Because like Kismet typically would be that guy, but if he's the secondary AR, you're going to make that commitment in S&D. They certainly have a puzzle they're going to need to solve, and I think their job is going to be a little bit more difficult, especially compared to a team that is back-to-back and had a lot of experience together.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Coach Clay, hopefully been putting the work in. We know they have. In the off-season, of course, in the run-up to today alone. Major 1, we'll see how everything folds out. But for the time being, again, Den and the Search and Destroy is going to be really interesting. Another man chance who finally, you know, we let the Infinity Stones go across the galaxy, and one of those stones was Celium. He has been an incredibly impressive player to watch. I mean, truly, truly one of the greatest to do it. Whether you love him or hate him, he really is something, a staple of FaZe success throughout the years. And now on the Falcons, again, a pretty attractive free agent, it had to be said.
And I think a decent amount of pressure on him as well to sort of provide, because if he's been a staple of the FaZe team for years, he's had the longtime duo of Simpin and Beezy that have always been there. And because, like, again, reputationally, over the years, there's been times where he's been labeled a guy that plays for kills, plays for stats a little bit more than the objective. A lot more pressure to be that guy on the team. And on the flip side, Kismet has almost the opposite reputation. He is Mr. Objective. He is Mr. 99. He will be in the hill getting the most time. And when he's at his best, he'll be the main slayer as well. And maybe a dynamic and situation where there's extra pressure on Kismet's back to sort of be the most objective-minded player we've ever seen. But in Call of Duty, the way it's played out, it's just not feasible. Everybody else is going to have to pick up on that slack.
To round out the last world champion here on the Riyadh Falcons, of course, Pred. I mean, what an explosive year he had with Seattle Surge there on Vanguard. A guy who knows how to pick up the pieces, who knows how to pick up the flak, and absolutely causing damage. Shotzzy once called him the greatest player in the world when your team finds a 3 down. If you kill 3 of the enemy, Pred is going to put himself in the most opportune position to find the next set of kills. A devastating player when he is in form, when he is in flow. Can he find that with the Falcons this season? His second go around with the organization. As the boys now get themselves ready for Den, an exciting roster, and again a huge amount of pressure, strong pieces added to this puzzle to try to help solve it and find some success for one of the newest awards here in the Call of Duty world. Of course, excellent chance. I mean, we talk about him all day long. From a high skill ceiling game, Black Ops 6 came in, took the world by storm, won fans overnight, an extremely, extremely fun POV to watch. But their opponents are no slouches. You're back-to-back world champions, Optic Texas.
Yep, absolutely no complaints, no weaknesses, no known issues. You have everything you want to ask for in a team. And I'd say like recently, Hook's probably been my favorite player.
Same.
Anyone that isn't giving Hook the gas
because
just does not understand the level of value he brings for the team. I mean, so much so that like when Shotzi is streaming like these preseason tournaments, he mutes out his teammates, and Hook is still the loudest guy in the room at all times. So absolutely deadly team that is going to be here. Maybe something a little bit extra in this first series because they're playing against Pred. Obviously interesting storylines that have been intertwined between that player and that organization. They won a world championship together. That is a brotherhood of sorts when the players talk about it, but make no mistake, they're competitors. They're going out for the kill of the day. And if Falcons are topsy-turvy in any way, shape, or form, Mercules, he wants to take the scalp.
Yeah, as soon as the bell rings, it's on. There is no love lost as second that happens, but very, very exciting again to see our teams back at it. Our two big green teams, Boston. Slight shade, no offense, but come on, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm just doing it. I'm not. It's the start of the year. It's the start of the year. I'm willing to, get it out of the way now. But two of our biggest teams in the league. Very, very excited to see them go up against each other again. Hopefully that loads into in a moment. And we'll search and destroy. If you've just joined us, folks, Optic are 1-0 up over the Riyadh Falcons. And Chance, you talk about Hook. He's probably my favorite player to watch right now as well, especially in Optic. Everyone loves.
اوكي كذا يعني. طيب نبغى شات واحد كيف؟ تعرفون؟ ارسلوا لي. ارسل لي الجديدة ترى ما يعرف انا. تقبل من فوق. قبول سهل بس الدعوة كيف؟ تعرف يا مجدوف؟ اي مطول اي مطول. لا مطول الجيم مطول شوي. انا اشوف البث مطول شوي. ايه والله. ايوه شنو اقبل؟ ايه قفلت المايك. كيف اعطي الدعوة؟ شو اسمك؟ تويتش. ايش؟ اكس او ملا لي اكس او غلطت. ايوه ما حصلت. هلا بدي
The site and Mercules didn't need any help, and neither did Shotzi. And Pred in a 1 versus 4, and he is nowhere to be found.
Not a soul. Pred, watching the flank there, he was the man on the backside of sight, and it is not going to happen. Everyone on Optic finds a corner, any corner lays down, and round 1. Now, I would presume we'll go to some lovely cinematic free cam shots that the observers have got lined up for us, while Mercules disrespects his surroundings. Great round though, Chance.
Yeah, and while Hook gets to practice his movement as well, because again, Hook, this is all he does. But yes, if you watch the preseason tournament, the round 1 bug is still in the game, carried over from last year as well. But nonetheless, well-executed strat off the rip. Shotzi shows himself on the bomb. There's a lot of pressure coming in from the attacking team. He swings over towards outer. Easy lane watch for him. And, well, for Mercules, that is going to be an easy 2 as well. And nothing more demoralizing than losing a round that quickly and having to spend 50 seconds just staring at a black screen, debating on what you want to do on defense. Not a fun situation to lose that round 1.
No, how was your day? Okay, round 2. Let's get it. Also, plenty of time for the round 1 winners to accumulate some trophy time. Lean forward, lock back in. Round 2. Here we go.
We'll see what Optic want to do on the attack. I assume if they're going to go for a face smash, it is going to be operated at least a little bit differently. But again, a rotation heavy map, and you can already see spreading the map on the attack, showing a lot of pressure over towards A. Xnid might be here to meet it, and that's a great nade, could allow you to get some pressure. And funnily enough on defense, Falcons did not send a single player towards B.
No, they've sort of with the 2-2 split here, 2 towards A, 2 players in the middle of the map. And Dashi looking to peel somebody off. Any of the, there it is. That's unfortunate timing for Kismet. Xnid's going to push forward here, but again, a bold maneuver. Book about to get active through the smoke. Catches the outline of a player there, and that's going to be a 4v2. Bruce having a little bit of pressure here, only in the form of gunfire from the Falcons. A B-bomb wide open. Optic walk right on in after the first 2 kills. Yeah, and Shotzi has already pushed himself up towards that back patio. They've cleared out all the space. I mean, this is as easy as a 4v2 as it's going to get. Yeah, nice credit spot.
هذا الدوري ليج يا دوري العالم الكود.
Slow and steady. You never know until you do, and we now know Optic 2 rounds in a row. Not a problem so far here on Den. First taste of a sniper rifle there from Dashi. You're going to see plenty of that this season. And again, on a map like this, you certainly want to find those opening picks, give you as much space as possible on Den, because then it tells you straight away we found a kill here. Are they going to reinforce that position? Are they expecting a player, or are they expecting you to push that position? Where can we reallocate resources? So then Falcons down a man on a huge disadvantage on a map like Den.
Yeah, and I think Optic happy for the strat. What do you guys want to do? I don't know. We'll just spread the map, wait for Dashi to get a pick. We'll make decisions from there. All right, cool. Exactly as you write it down. And now Optic triple stacking in the defensive end. They're trying to run him over. Meanwhile, Dashi has to hold off the entire team. And it's a snipe battle that Kismet gets revenge. Of course, though, the rest of Optic have taken space. They've dealt with the flank. And Falcon's going to be a lot less comfortable in this situation.
Yeah. Optic. We're all going to take the hit through the dojo side of the map. Xnid and Co now on the wrap, trying to find anything. Kismet, the man with a big gun, finds the first. Shotsy gone. Eliminated from play. Man advantage right now for the Falcons. No bomb planted just yet, though.
Yeah, they are a little bit scared, a little bit paranoid. They don't have quite the same map control that Optic did in the previous round, so they're happy to take their time. 40 seconds is a lot to work with. They know Hooks towards the middle of the map, and they have not had eyes on Mercules in quite some time. A skittish moment for the Falcons.
Yeah, you weren't wrong about it being slightly averse to the objective. An allergy test may be required. And Mercules wait on the fight forward. Massive damage in Acelium. Anyone here to push forward for it? Kismet gets tagged. An opportunity to trade not found. Kismet alone. The battle against Hook won. And the 1v1, the cleanup is there. At a moment of hesitation will do more than bite the Falcons in the backside.
And you know, there's a moment of hesitation, and then there's just endless hesitation. Didn't do
the whole round.
Kismet, if he had the bomb rather than a sniper, would have planted that bad boy 30 seconds before when the first attempt was. But that's what I'm saying. For the Kismet is just gonna have to be Mr. Do It All, man. Give him the bomb, give him the snipe, give him an AR, give him a sub. He's gonna be the guy running it in overload as well. Godspeed to him.
Give me the ball.
يا مسلم خلها بعدين يا مسلم.
Well, so far so good. 3 rounds to nothing. No deaths yet for Mercules. Not quite the full box of donuts for the Falcons right now. Let's see if they can't get something healthier into their diet. Kismet's still the man with the sniper rifle. Boomstick still in play. Not tremendously effective for either side. Optic with a 2-2 reshuffle.
You got Pred roaming the middle of the map. Salim's going to be looking over top. Either way, though, I feel like this is a bomb plant that is effectively being given up for free. Optic just waiting for the moment. And maybe Mercules just waiting for that deep pinch to come through. Pred's toying with the idea. But I don't think Pred's ever going to read that depths of a spot.
Oh, no.
And that is COD timing at its finest in mid.
He's in. A man on a mission now behind enemy lines, and this is going to hurt. Eyes on the first man, the snap towards the second, but Celia managed to get away with his life into the jaws of the rest of his team, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Shotsy moment if ever we've seen one. The trade's complete though, and now exit from prone, able to cause a ton of damage into Hook. The trade's there once again, and Optic, immaculate teamwork, gets them to a 2v1.
And Preb is busy on the opposite side of the map, but he's made it a 1v1. Former teammates going down. He's got the sub, and he's got the timing. Straight in for the kill in instant 1 versus 2. Pred waited for his moment to strike, but he had it dialed in.
Fantastic turnaround. The Falcons are on the board. Shotsy's shenanigans don't get them quite far enough. COD timing and a brilliant decision made. The FOV's not that big, but he definitely saw Selim there on the left. Feeds it straight into the boys. And Pred's 2v1 though. This is exactly what you wanted. The clock on his side. A high impact moment. And the pressure was certainly on, but you'll take that. 3-1. Optic's still in the lead.
Yeah, tough moment indeed, but happy for that. Now this is activity. I was gonna say, Shotsy just full sprinted through mid, right into the clutches of Salim. That is an easy first blood. Of course, though, Falcons yet to group up together. Still spreading the map, looking for a little bit more information before they make their call, and they just instantly scam. We got a 3v3.
Yeah, not a problem whatsoever. He's tagged up. No snipe this round. He's actually handed it over. I do believe it was Selim there running it. Massive flank now from Pred. He goes unaware, so this is an opening bomb site on A that you're able to get this one down. So force right now for Pred, still finding himself a corner. This is exactly what you want. Optic. Not an ideal spot here. Good luck on the retake.
Into the clutches. There she goes. Dashi taken care of in short order. That is back-to-back rounds where Mercules and Pred are just having an interesting tiny battle on the map, but Pred's come out on top of that twice. Mercules maybe trying to make that adjustment, but as far as it goes, not too shabby as the Falcons. The scam a little bit scary, but when your team gets the round win, does it even matter?
Interesting. I just enjoyed that Hook 1v1 he had. The player on the sort of wall jump, he was ex-nid. The most calm reaction imaginable on the kill. Scams aside, the Falcons find themselves 2 rounds in a row now.
يلا عيال الراوند الثالث ونجيبهم.
Big Bruce won't find anyone here. The wings of the map covered in Falcons players for now.
It's gonna be a B hit though. I mean, Mercules has just found himself. I mean, he's taking over mid. So you have that under control. You're looking for the bomb site pressure. You do have Pred playing a cruddy angle over towards the B site. So a tricky one on this approach. And Dashi versus Selim for this line of sight. Selim's giving him nothing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, even better from Pred. Got number 6. The smoke not going to help him nearly enough. Selim now trying to get into the mix. In the 3v3, here come the remaining members of the Falcons. Try to buy some time, allow Kismet to get in a position. The quick checks. Another from Selim. Can Kiz get his? Can indeed. Last man mugged, and he has been mugged. The watch, phone, wallet, and now we're all tied up.
This is huge, and I think that Pred 1v2, maybe the spark that team was going to be looking for just to get on the board. I think Optic were playing better S&D the early rounds. Certainly shifting. And once again, Pred, one of that sort of focal point players, right? Gets the first blood on Who, gets the smoke out, and at least stays alive long enough to get Selim back in the mix. And that's the level of activity that you're excited to see if you're a Riyadh Falcons fan. Even Exon, quick pinch rolling through, not wasting any time in that round.
Yeah, that was a nice sort of turn there. Again, good instincts and great chem from the Falcons early on here in the 2026 season. They know when to hit it together, and they certainly did. Pred. 6 and 3. I wonder, did he get himself that hellstorm? He didn't. That's so unfortunate. But he gets this. Oh, doesn't! Oh! That's Hook. First blood. Ugh.
He just walked face first, basically the entire team playing credit corners. And yeah, comes out on top. That's Hook for you.
That's Hook for you.
That was Hook for you.
Yeah, it was. Now he's a fragment of the man he once was. Thanks to that, Nate. Big lineup from Bruce. Great damage. Here comes the immediate hit from Exnid. That is super aggression. Now, Hercules, eyes are on.
Well, that's certainly going to connect, or at least back him down. And these are the moments of like sort of hesitation we're talking about. You have to be on point with play calls. You can't waste any time because as they're going for this rotation, Hercules is already at the site ready to meet him.
And he's there. Oh, the timing a smidge of a second early. But, oh, the timing here even better. 1v1. Here comes Shossi from the other side of the map. Hercules does get himself the Hellstorm. And this is for the lead change. A Kismet in an opportunity to cause some serious damage. Will he check left? The answer is maybe.
اسمع والله يمحل والله يمحل وعليكم السلام والرحمة.
Yeah, that spot ends up paying off, especially with less than 20 seconds on the game clock. Too tough to clear out everything, but another moment where you have the opportunity to either go for the bomb plant, and if you're not comfortable, you have to be so much quicker about making a decision to push through or to go through mid or to play for the fight, whatever you're going to be. Just those few extra seconds where you're deliberating with your teammates, Hercules is just taking that opportunity to wrap back and cover the other side. So it is just Optic right now having quicker conversations on the map than the Riyadh Falcons. Admittedly, though, when they're getting the first bloods, when they're grouped up together, they've still been on point.
Oh, good stuff. Attacking right now for Optic Texas. Lovely bit of work there from Hercules. We'll see if the Hellstorm comes into play. A lot of coverage here on Den. Let's see how we go. The first Hellstorm of the 2026 season that we get to watch. I'm not sure if it's going to find too many targets all over the A-bomb site. Keep those players trapped on the inside, and Optic will be able to buy as much space as they want. And that's nearly first traded for Shotzi, 3v3.
And they're just going for the A call as well. I mean, everybody was turtled up indoors, so Optic are hoping that the pressure gets alleviated. And all three Falcons players go out towards mid, expecting to be hit. Nobody's home.
There's the A-bomb plant. Exnid now trying to make his way forward, and he peeks as his eyes poked out. Mercury's now forward position, find a corner. Or will he hold that front line? Great big light on the wall there, gives away his shadow, but plenty of shadow spotted out there on the Pred. Oh, not going to get killed. Big work now, all down to Hook. 1v2. He has to play the trade. He's got to stay alive, get an isolated gunfight if he can. 25 seconds. Smoke now. The charge from the Falcons. Will they charge into death, or are they going to charge into glory? And a sneaky Pred on the defuse. Is it going to pay off? Hook on the wrap. He doesn't. Get it. The bomb defuse. Heads up play from AG.
That is instant on that hop as well, right? These are the types of things you have to be completely on point with, and that is literally a point, like 1 second difference. If Hook is ever so slightly faster, he breaks it down, clutches the 1v2. Predin selling him, did not hesitate. Got the smoke out in the doorway, moved into the site, instant bomb hop, zero fear. That's the type of play call that wins you around. Pred's been good. He's, you know, more or less single-handedly won his team. Maybe 3 of them so far this game.
Gives me the crown of, hey man, you gotta go do it yourself, but beautiful there. While Hercules finds an opening blood, Kismet and Exnid, they jump their way to the top window and they find nothing but trouble. So down a man now on the approach towards the A-bomb side. They have to go the long way around, and Optic have read this one. Here comes Shotzi. First man. Great work on the kill there. He takes care of Celian, backs away. Kismet's never going to be able to get this one going.
Oh,
yeah, bites off a little bit too much there, taken care of. The 3v2, big advantage right now. The problem for the Falcons, can they get that bomb down? A race across map again, chance.
And I mean, this is going to be an interesting decision for Falcons to make because, well, I suppose at this point, no matter what bomb site they rotate into, they're going to be matching somebody. You got Hercules, the defender, towards the A site. That's where the pressure is going to be. He's playing it a little bit passive, a little bit in the back. But he's throwing shoulder, just waiting for the intel. But the rest of Optic not quite here in position. Pressure is on Merc.
Yep, pressure is on. Slides out. Here comes the damage. Opportunity for the flanks. Yeah, the angle covered. Hook He's checking every possible corner. Doesn't check the right one though, but that is going to be it, folks. A diligent retake from Optic Texas. And Hook throws himself as the martyr for the play to allow Mercules to get that defuse. And beautiful stuff. Map point, Optic.
And certainly from Optic, or maybe the experience of playing against them, if you're fighting against one of them, you're fighting against what feels like 5 of them. Never a moment of sort of over-aggression there from Hercules. Waits for his teammates to get back in the mix, even if he's got a guy dead to rights, making the safer call. I mean, this is just efficient work. A lot of team shots rolling through, a lot of assists for the Optic boys. Trying to win this off the back of their teamwork. A round away from doing so.
And where are we going to go? B-bomb, so it looks like it. Opening
ترى
salvo,
في
a
تكتيك
couple
في
of nades
تكتيك
out. We're going to commit to this one quickly. We have the numbers if we're Optic. If the Falcons, you're hoping for someone to make a mistake. And Dad will be seeing it. Here comes Hook on the approach. Watch how he takes care of these corners. A beautiful way to attack it. Lovely damage. Singing in the boys now trying to find something. Shotzi still holding the middle of the map. And Hook, he's got so much damage. He's not going to get a kill though. The rest of the boys now showing up as the smoke clears. It is Shotzi with the first. The bomb site still in full control. Pinch is now on for the Falcons.
المشكلة اللي حط
It gives you something extra. I mean, they're fighting a full-on war over by the B site, and the rest of the Falcons just now rotated over. And by the time you do, it's a 1 versus 3 overwhelming force is going to get Optic this game.
They're going to get him this game, indeed. Where they attacked the B-bomb site. They did not give it up.
هذا شجي خذ اللفة يسار عليك.
It was a test. It was a way. It was a weigh-in of Optic versus the Falcons there on the bomb site. And Optic come out as the heavyweight. 2-0 in the series so far.
And you know, they'll be talking over the 1v2, the Pred clutched up inside the site, decisions about do we want to play split in the back spawn, should we group up together, what are we doing in the post plant, but outside of the small conversations, the overarching game plan completely on point there from Optic. And on the flip side for Falcons, a couple signs of life. Kismet having a nice round or two with the sniper. Certainly the plays coming through from Pred on the pinches on point, but just not quite enough firepower in the end. Xnid struggling just a little bit there on that map. Meanwhile, double digits for both Shotzi and Mercules. They just got, what, 7 first bloods out of 10. Not too shabby.
Not a problem whatsoever. 6-4 final score there on Den. Staying on Den, folks, as we now play Overload. Going to be very interesting to see how this one goes down. Yep. Plant the bomb. If in doubt, get it down. Help give your boys as many options as possible in the 1vx moments or even on those 2v2s. Again, great work from Optic there, showing a strong hand on Den. Falcons, a little bit still to be done there in the lab. We'll see how things go for them. Now, though, it is match point. Optic going in Overload, looking strong chance again. The talk of the town in the preseason has been that they are one of the stronger Overload teams for sure. But don't take our word for it. It's back to the desk.
I know a lot about Overload, and I watched this Falcons team win 0 of them.
Oh.
But if there's time to do it, it's right now. We'll see if they can do it in Game 3. Before we get to that Game 3, let's revisit the first 2. Rosalie, I saw Dashy was leading the way with damage. Who caught your eye, though, in Search and Destroy for Game number 2?
It had to be Mercules. I mean, guys, 10 and 4. He's just unbelievable across all game modes. And for the side of Riyadh Falcons, it's just so frustrating to watch, especially the first half of this Search and Destroy. Just so many opportunities where you just see them hesitant. And I look at this team, I see Pred, I see Kismet. I don't see a hesitant roster. I don't see players that make hesitant decisions. And we saw it punish them multiple times versus a team like Optic Texas, where if you give them an inch, they will more often than not take a mile.
Yeah, I thought Optic's more willing to take risks. You're seeing one right here where Hook just like knows they're trying to play slow. Maybe get a pick on a scam, and you know he takes the angle where he feels like he has an advantage. And you know, Chance and Miles did an excellent job talking about it. Just kind of like how slow the Falcons were. There were 2 different offensive pushes where you saw there you give up a blood, or you're not willing to get the bomb down. Like maybe save your smoke and try to get it down on B in that moment, because what happens is they're so afraid of mid. Right? If you don't have mid control and you're stacking over towards B and they have that top mid statue, you can die off that bomb, and that's what they're worried about, right? So freaking out in their head a bit. Opted to take advantage of that, and right now it's just coasting for Optic, man. They can do no wrong.
If you guys are wondering, why does that search and destroy look a little different than the one we play? Well, each team gets one smoke, and it looks like they're doing 2 lives with the sniper. We'll dive into that deeper on how the GA compromise worked out to get snipes back into Black Ops 7. What we know for now, though, is this has been a one-sided affair at times in Hardpoint. I was looking at the scoreboard, and we were 50-0 to open up the game on Scar. Then it was 116 to 110 in favor of the Falcons. Is Scar always going to be a map that sees such huge swings in the scoreboard?
Yeah, well, I mean, Optic spawned on what I would consider the good side, right? Because you can get up into P1, you have the smoke above the tank, which is kind of an obstruction to the other team, and then they're just spawning back green the entire time. So I was not surprised that they started up 50-0, and then it became a little bit close. But in the second half of that game, what you saw was Shotzzy's ability to just make plays, just get away with his life. I think it was on Plain Hill where he's laying down in front. He finds a 3-piece to just extend their lead by about 60, 70 points. And those are the moments where, like, the good teams are going to be able to pull away when they can get themselves in those situations.
Yeah, and this is one of those maps where players can get a little bit lost when it comes to breaking some of these money hills. And I think Riot Falcons, I mean, if we looked at the back-end numbers and the hold percentages, they were losing a lot of these opening team fights, regardless of how early they got there. There was a couple moments where I could see some growth in exit, a lot of rotations, a lot of big wins to give them that advantage. But unfortunately, it's just like you keep letting a player like Shotzzy get up top window and just have the time of his life behind you. And for Riot Falcons, got to work on that player counting just a little bit.
Yeah, it just started off, it was on Grandma's Hill where, you know, Shotzzy was up top and he just like dribbles and ate it, and he was weak. They don't go to challenge him to clean him up. The pressure gets applied, right? And now you're spawning all the way out when we go to P5. So Optic, they're just clearly ahead of Falcons as it stands right now. I don't believe that there's a massive talent gap. No, either side is when you're watching.
I think they played that well for a long period until they lost that P3, that full 60, and it was like, all right, guys, what do we do?
I feel like there's somebody cheating still. It's not Awakening. He's gone. It might be Mercury's if he keeps dropping numbers like these. Let's take a look at the young gun. Are you seriously dropping this your second year? Everyone is saying you're the best AR in the game, and he is trying to prove it with the numbers. A 1.73 and 4,600 damage. The man is cooking.
Yeah, and I think what's so cool about it is just like the positions that they put him in. I mean, how many times was he the guy tasked with, like, in that search and destroy? Like, he's alone wrapping playing information. Like, there is so much trust that they put in this guy, and he just delivers every single time, no matter the game mode nor situation.
Remember we used to be like, who are you taking to win their ones? I'm taking Mercs over every single time.
Toronto, they found something magical, and they let it go. He now wears an Optic jersey, and he's never taken it off. They need one more map. We'll find out, can Optic seal the deal as we send it over to Miles and Chance.
We're back, and it's finally time to play Overload, Chance. Finally. I've been warming up. I did a jumping jack in the break to get myself ready for this one. Staying on Den though, so maybe not as electrifying as Exposure has looked so far. For me, I think it might be the one, but we'll see how we go. See how we go here on a little bit of Den.
I see you've never seen the B trains rolling through. You can run the score up on this. You can make some magical things happen. It can be, a high octane match. It is going to be interesting though. I think the way we're playing Overload now compared to the end of the year, I think this is going to be a game mode that has a ton of like evolvement to it. Early on, it might be the most dynamic one we have, and therefore like the highest skill difference between like different teams. There's going to be some teams in CDL that suck at this game mode, at least early on. Like, it's a learning experience for everybody. We already know that Optic set the tone early on, especially on a map like this, that they're ahead of the game. This, to me, is just a test to see where the Falcons are going to be, how well they can compete, what kind of ideas can they bring to the table, and maybe fight back. I just want to hear it listening. So I don't know if we have to do that in the hard points, but Falcons, I'm very excited to watch this map, for sure.
I'm very excited to watch the Falcons play this. I'm also excited to hear what the Falcons call the EMP device. You at home might have your own name for it. The rock, the ball, the device, the drone, you name it. I'm going to go with EMP and ball when things get really litty, chat. But Overload, a brand new mode here in the Call of Duty world. Thanks to the lovely folks at Ra'yk for putting this one together. New year, new mode. Same us, though. Same us. You don't get extra points for dunks or anything fancy like that. You have to run it home to score. First team to 8 will win. If you reach the 4-point mark, we do swap sides. It forces halftime. So quite frankly, as you said, Chance, there will be some teams that just, and I quote, suck at it. they're going to get knocked out real bad, real quick.
And it's even for a map like this, where like if you're spawning on the right side of the map,
I think
attacking
shots
towards the
obvious.
left, the B zone is going to be the preferred point. What feels like now, 90% of the time. But by the time we get to the end of the year, as things develop, like there's going to be teams that might just not be good at that type of like play style, that type of setup to like run the point home, or maybe guys can actually figure out how to utilize, you know, there is a set rotation for where the EMPs are going to be spawning in. Starts in the middle of the map, goes to the top side, your third spawn goes to the bottom, and then it resets. It is calculable, it is knowable. So if you're a team, you're going to have set design plays for any given EMP spawn about what direction you want to go. Instant wraps, you want to go through the middle of the map, you capitalize the space and just run it forward. These are the types of things that are like extremely difficult to figure out on the fly. Again, everybody's still learning the game mode, but like for that S&D we saw from the Falcons, if they're hesitating an S&D on a map that like most people seem to have like the vibe of the understanding of, I think to me that strikes fear of what's going to happen in Overload. Unless you get the ball wrong, if you get pop-out performance, if you get that 3 dead and Fred just gets to go and be in form, they're going to find success. But I think it's a very tough task.
I think we're going to see a lot of teams, I think with Den in particular, fight for the drone mid-map, or for the ball, sorry, I'll start doing it. I know, it's happening. I'll fight for the ball, fight for the EP mid-map, and then run it topside straight away. Go for that top lane score immediately, maintain control of that, because then you have the next spawn up. And this is a map that doesn't have a cut. It doesn't have a way to get to that without taking a full wrap from your spawn all the way to that long lane. So I think this is going to be a 2-0 lead sort of situation where as long as the team maintains control, 2 off the bat right away, and then they have to fall to the bottom side of the map to the sort of computers wall jump area. But that is going to be that. So we'll see how that goes, folks. A slight issue getting into map number 3, but we're going to be throwing absolute magic in this game. I'm stoked to see how Overload plays out. And to your point, what it looks like at Major 1, what it looks like in Major 2. And again, the very first time we are seeing this played with the new overtime rules, which is again at the end of the first round, at the end of the round at halftime, you're able to make something happen with 30 seconds if a player is holding onto the device. And again, if you're carrying the device, pistols only. So a significant portion of firepower has been eliminated from the objective player. We'll see how it plays out. It might be changing in the future. Yeah, never know. Treyarch are very, very responsive, and I know you're watching, friends. I know you're watching. And we're as interested as you guys are to see how this one plays out. But Overload, very, very interested to see how this goes. If we do go to overtime, 4 lives either side. Good luck, have fun. And it is fun.
Yeah, the overtime rule is very interesting because, like, you know, if you're in a situation where you have the opportunity to score very quickly, congratulations, you win, you score, you get the dub. But if not, it sort of plays just like a TDM. But then the guy that's like holding the EMP device is getting like pinged. The other team can see him. And I think for the overtime situation, it's going to be maybe sometimes intense, but my expectation, the pace is gonna slow down dramatically. Everybody's scared to die. You can't be that guy that gets first blooded, and it can be difficult to work around the map. So much so that I don't know how much the pros have developed it, but if you end up in a situation where you are knowing you're expecting to go into overtime, you probably want Ninja on a class, because if you don't have that when the overtime pops, you're going to be absolutely terrified to move. So just a very sort of curveball added layer of, hey man, the teamwork needs to be on point. The communication always has to be there, and any scam would be absolutely dire if a player throws away their life. So Mode, you have to be very calculated, very on point, basically from start to finish.
Charles, how would you translate scam to folks at home who maybe don't live and breathe Call of Duty culture?
A scam is when you do something stupid, I think would be the easiest way to state it. If you're just in a positive situation on the map where there's no need to be aggressive, to go for some degree of pressure, and you make an over-aggressive play that gets you killed, that would be a scam.
Hold my beer. Hold my monster.
If we're in a 4v3, Miles, and the first thing you do is says, hold up, I'm going to make a play, and you run through mid and get caught, that would be a scam. Same thing we saw in the S&D. You had a 4v3 for the Riyadh Falcons. X&D's trying to do the wall jump stuff to like cross over the side. He either messes up the movement or just isn't prepared for hook, and that's throwing away your life. There's nobody there for the trades. That would be a scam.
There we go, folks.
Or if you get a call from a number that you don't have caller ID for, that's also probably a scam.
Probably a scam, and they're asking very, very important questions about your socials or mother's maiden names, all that sort of stuff. It's really getting overload, folks. Watch out for the scams. They'll get you, though. They're spear phishing when they know it's you, or someone you really got to watch out for. We'll see how things go as we load into overload. Here on Den, once again, I'm expecting 2-0 lead to the team who gets that first one down. After that, we've got to go 2-1. I'm not sure if we're going to see a team that dominant in the mode so far to get the fast halftime swap at 4, and then of course 8, the final score. We can see a map finish pretty quick. We do have a slight delay, I suppose. The EMP, once it is reset, it has to sort of respawn. It doesn't just reappear immediately.
انا اعطيته ميوت زين. اعطيته ميوت انا. شو بغيت اقول لك مجدوف، الكام حقتك كم تقعد ساعة وتطفأ تحتر؟ وبكام اللي عندك انت؟ ويلكم يا منورية. يلا يا بدت.
Why would you waste any time? Always go for that good position. Overload is going to force you to play at different speeds. Like if you're a squad that likes to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more controlled, make sure you have a sizable advantage before you like try to make a pure play with the EMP device. That's all well and good if you're in the early game, you got 3 minutes on the game clock. If you're down 3 scores and there's only like 2 minutes left, you got to get the ball moving. Like you just have to go so much faster than you might be prepared for. So different speeds are required in this game. Fun to watch, and I would say right now Optic likely on the preferred side, but only towards that B zone. We still have so much to learn.
Game on! Shotty's flank pays off.
Okay. كنت ابغى اشوف الطور الجديد. ما بهارد بوينت هذا، ما بهارد بوينت، الطور الجديد.
We're going down low, ladies and gents. EMP on the move. Who's going to be our first man here? Great defensive setup now from the Falcons. They are playing this one as close as possible to the goal line. First kill in, Hook gets the trade. Sweet. Mercury's not enough damage to get the kills, and the remaining members of the Falcons now pull forward. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. An opportunity for a goal, maybe. As we've cut our way through, Mac with a pistol, no good. Pred's now on a run.
Yeah, and he's going to get chased very quickly, though, by Shotzi, and yeah, Dashley be there for the cleanup kill. And this is the type of moment for Optic. What do you want to do? Try to force it through the A zone. That normally feels like a nightmare, but now you got the lead blocker. Shotzi, the front man on the line, and even still, they want to go towards B. This is the type of decision. We get to see how it pays off, but the B side generally preferred. They're going to take their time to make it happen.
Great nades, either side. No one able to make too much happen here. Just at the A side of the map, that left-hand side courtyard, it's a difficult space to cross off. A colourless opportunities to fly forward. The B zone, a little bit easier to defend right now. This is going to be one of the good side, bad side maps we see develop. Chelsea's flank. Quick reset there from the overload device, and once again we're making a run, trying to find the kills. Openers here for Merc, great damage. Exited up close. Trades are good. No lineup, no good whatsoever. Falcons, quick recovery and fight forward.
Yeah, and what, 2 players going towards the middle of the map. The Falcons pumping the brakes, taking their time, couple trades rolling through, but that's a delicate moment. Now the device is going to be down in your spawn. Number 2 Shotzi picks it up and tries to just hightail it away. And now for the Falcons, you want to pick it up, you try to let it reset. You've at least stabilized your spawn. And if nobody's touching it, they want it to reset on the map and play 50-50, or they're figuring out what they want to do on the fly. In the meantime, Kisman in the middle of the map falls.
How would you now for the Falcons to get that drone forward, the ball forward rather? Line up. Oh, great damage. Not enough here. Good wall jump as well. And now you now to play towards the A
والله ما قصروا فيهم بس كلات بس ما في فايدة فهمت؟ لازم يجي يوصلونها. ايه يا عمري اكسنت.
One man left there for the goal, and it's going to be Dashy. Spawns are still good. Cellian recovered. Down and out. No one able to make anything happen here so far.
Yeah, meanwhile, Shotzi is running worlds. He is 11-1 on a 6 spree, and finally the dam is broken. That's enough for the cap. We got standing inside of your spawn, so now the players are spawning towards the top, but for the Falcons, that's actually where you want to be. Of course, though, you're in a pinch. Feels like a nightmare. Exney gives you the first blood, and now you got coverage out towards B. Number 3 is there for the cuts
عيال اللي في البث عندي تسمعون مجدوف
You got to win that fight, and you
وما
know
تسمعونه.
Hercules doesn't take any damage, so it's close enough to Optic's goal, but that's going to be a recovery now. 1-0 lead at minute 35 in the first half. Towards the B zone we now go. Shotzi trying to get in position early, trying to catch these players out, but again, Falcons like to defend it from deep. Exit there on the close left. All first man down, able to get a trade. Mercules still with a nade to go with.
يا عمري
سرخوية. Team nade, and that should be good for the second. Gets it through, and Optic starting to get it going.
Yeah, Selim just got his second kill of the map. Unfortunately, on your teammate is not what you want to have happen. And if there was a heat map of what
بقى
he's been
دقيقة ما
taking
يمدي
place,
ما
Shotzi
يمدي
has literally just been living behind him. There's a free one. Tries to earn the second. Actually, no, he gets the free two. Does enough damage on
كم
the
راوند
third.
هي؟
And now Dashy gets to be the lead blocker.
Once again, we're stacking towards this B goal. Fantastic nade work there from Kismet and Xnit. Again, it is a kill box. A classic setup. They just have to win these gunfights. Opportunity to grab this one out. Optic pump the brakes right away. We've not necessarily parked the bus, but we're going to hold on to the middle map presence we've got. And Hook somehow finding himself a couple of good ones here. This is unreal work. Celium doing a nice bit of work there with the kill front. Dashy with huge damage. Able to get this next player. And you've got an opportunity to make a run for goal. 20 seconds to go. Could we see a third?
Well, he's got the device and he's got one of the best pistol shots in the league. This is what you want to have.
سلام من حشروا العيال.
It would be miraculous if they pulled it off. And
وهذا وانا لابس طقم الفالكون. حالتي حالة ومشجع صميم. افا.
It's good work again. Here comes the overtime. 30 seconds. A sort of a shot. As long as it's in play.
يا اخي المعلق يقهرني يا ولد. ودي اني اشد حلقة.
Time will run. He's got 30 seconds to make it happen, but unfortunately,
اي ودي اني اشد حلقة المعلق.
and the round will end. We are swapping sides. Going into the second half again. Optic willing to take risks, willing to make stuff happen, and the man who's making it all happen right now, 18-6, Shotzi, getting lost all over the map, allowing his boys to really get things going. And again, Charles, I feel like it might be a den-specific sort of feeling. I think you talked about this previously. Every overload map is going to have a really different vibe. And we're seeing a little bit of that den one here where it's really, really rotation heavy.
Yes, it's also like pre-patch, post-patch. With the amount of kills Optic was just getting, I think pre-patch, they get their 4 points very early on. I mean, Shotzi's 18-6. He was quadruple positive at some point, but just now that the device carrier has a pistol rather than like the whatever primary weapon, specifically getting that B-zone cat seemed way more difficult.
Yeah, it's been more challenging. Well, nice start here from the Falcons. And the pistol there of Celium helping buy some space through the middle of the map. Optic now on the back foot.
اصمل عشان جمهور عشان تابع.
Here we go. EMP on the way.
اصمل عشرتك صح.
Good damage. Or to a former teammate of the Warhawks getting dicey. Wins the fight. The next line of defense for Optic is the goal line.
Waiting for Kismet on the pinch. Mercules and Shotzi gonna have that covered. Everybody else is guns forward. But Kismet's gonna be forced to make a play in this moment. They got the
وبدأ الحين.
couldn't get one. He gets baited into death.
ولا لقطات.
Run for the hills or you stand your ground and die right there.
هذه لقطات يا ولد ولا.
In 4 minutes and if you got a 2-0 lead, they're not gonna be in a massive hurry.
Let's see how effective they can be on the attack from this
يا ولد
side
طلعوا
of the map
يكملون
so
على
far.
اثنين.
Through the bottom line towards the A goal. We're trying to make something happen here on the Celium. Play defense well. Damn indeed.
والله صعب.
Gets himself one and gets away with his life, but the ball is still moving. EMP now on the way to B. Shotzi makes the call. It's clear, mate. No, Kiz through middle. Catches it out and Pred. Good spidey senses, more than tingling. Once again, Falcons.
ترى الكلام يختلف عن وانت تتابعهم يختلف وانت تلعب.
This is a little bit of a rare situation to see in this moment, and they're losing every gunfight. And the reason it's rare, you're going to find out, is because you lose immediately. That's why if you're on the right side, they wrap it out towards the bottom or middle side of the map.
انت في شخصنا معك اسمه.
If not, well,
وانا
Shotzi
بدي اخذ
gets to
جيمين.
detonate.
Now we got the top side.
اي بس انا بدي اخذ جيمين.
ترى
تدري مستوى سيء في وشه في الهارد بوينت الاولى بس.
But now to the bottom side of the map, where the Falcons fortunately get the spawn, so Optic have to play for this. They've got to give up the power position and all the control they had. But wait, Mercules, an investment on an open side of the map. Can it race its way towards the B goal? Optic are in position for that one as well, and we might be looking at a very, very
لا
big
4-0
turnaround
الران
in
ذا
chance.
الجيم ذا.
Yeah, now 2.5
شوف
minutes.
شوف شوف شو تجيب ذابح 24.
Going to do fantastic work there for Hercules, and you just get the rock. You can do whatever you want with it, and there's no
شوزي
hesitation.
يخوف.
You pick it up and you rotate it towards the top side of the map. This is exactly where Optic want to be. You get Hercules here for the cutoff kills. Great information. He might get traded, but you got the pressure on with the 4 lead in 2 minutes. This game is very close to already being over.
انت شفت
Absolutely, 2 minutes to go. We're going to see the Falcons go absolutely crazy. Now she's dropped the device, so now a couple of trades either side. Falcons with the numbers, Mercury's keeping this one out of play. If it resets, it goes to the bottom side of the map. That's what Pred is playing for right now. Can they keep the reset play alive? Oh no, it's hit the fan, boys and girls. Will it be 5-0? Celium stops it. Close enough into play. Mid-map now, starting to find something here for the Falcons. Can they get this drone ball thing out of play?
Well, they're trying to set up for it. They just got 3 out of the 4 kills they needed, but they're running top side of the map. And again, if you're attacking from right to left, going towards A, it is nightmare level difficulty.
Exit it still. Playing it as well as he can. No point in throwing yourself off the map. It will reappear where your feet left the ground. Pred down, middle of the map now.
والله
Trying to make something
حرام
happen.
حرام يا شيخ.
Optic Texas reading the push perfectly. Lovely shots from X.
أوبتك بطل أبطال العالم السنتين ربع.
Celium now.
أبطال العالم سنتين ربع.
Pred through the middle. Gets
ترى خذ
his.
في بالك.
An opportunity for a pinch.
داعسين فيز. داعسين فيز داعس
Numbers
أوبتك.
are up now for the Falcons. An opportunity to backpedal towards
فيز
B.
أقوى.
Grab the
الحمد
MP,
لله
kiss
وصلوا
them
أخيرا.
down. We're on the board with 50 to go.
Hey, they got their one. That's all you need. Of course, though, it takes 10 seconds for that EMP device to respawn on the map, so they're going to have to, I mean, teleport.
لتكريجة
happen. I think right now we're just going to be playing for kills.
We're playing for kills. Well, there will be a opportunity for a sort of shot clock 30-second moment at the end of the round if the Falcons are holding it. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, so strong for Optic. Once again, 31 and 15.
اي عادي عادي بس اني بردها لك يعني. لا عادي عادي انشغلت مع الوليد. اي انشغلت مع الوليد.
To start off the 2026 season, going up against the Riyadh Falcons and a clean and dominant 3-0.
Yeah, and we got to see the chain effect as well on that map. If you're on the right side on them, in the middle ball spawn is like the current one that's active. They had it on the top side of the map. They didn't try to rotate it. They try to force it towards A. They lose the point immediately, and because the previous EMP spawn was in mid, the next one just spawns up pop, and it just set Optic up for an instant chain, back-to-back scores. They already had the 2-0 lead. And that's pretty much going to be all she wrote. But those types of like decisions on maps, like having to know where the next device is going to spawn is the position there first. So many things you have to consider. That is why Optic Texas happy to have the knowledge early on. But tippy to Shotzi, tippy to Merc. I think Shotzi just basically got to live inside.
ابغى اشوف تشكيلة فيز الجديدة. لا تحرق علي بشوفها.
So yeah, feed up. He was enjoying himself.
He really was. I mean, he was getting over 3 kills a minute.
لا غيره كامل.
Per minute. So good stuff, mate. 4-1 the final score there on Den Overload. No need for the exposure hard point, friends. As we say bye-bye to the Riyadh Falcons for today. The opening day of play for them, not a fantastic one. The 154-6-4, and again, the final score there on Overlord. Not Overload, not ideal. Tongue twisters to start the league off. We're going to
انا خاف شيء اليوم وبرد يطلعون من فالكون على مستوى الخايس ده.
Starting things off strong, exactly what you want as a fan.
Yep, fun time, fun 3-0. Not a lot of time wasted. Fans are going to be happy. Players are going to be happy. I think you could do no wrong. And in that sense, for people excited to watch the Riyadh Falcons play, I think that series sort of went as well. I mean, the Des predicted it perfectly. So yes, that match went exactly as expected.
نبغى رايكم يا عيال.
A lot of learning we have to do.
A lot of learning indeed. Well, not a lot of time for the folks who are trying to get their drops. Isn't that right, Des? Trying to get drops? 3-0s don't help. Come on.
I think we're getting to game 5 at the end of the night. We're all right. We still got Vegas playing.
An hour.
But this one went as expected. If you watch these two teams just a week ago, this was kind of the state that we saw the Falcons in. And on the other side, this is the strength of Optic Texas. So everyone was wondering, can they keep it up? They definitely could. The question I have for you two is, Who of the four had the best day? Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this series. Who on Optic should be wearing the crown for the MVP performance?
I mean,
right?
Yeah, I mean, when you get a 3-0, I would actually probably go Mercules just because the Search and Destroy was the game mode that felt like it got the diciest.
12-4 performance.
Yeah, he just had such a big performance, and he was also the guy on the island. Shotzi also played absolutely incredible.
ايه MVP شوتزي من قبل ما يبدا الجيم الاول اول 10 ثواني.
Shotzi just lived, as Chan said, in their base for a good minute. I mean, he went on a 7 spree. It allowed Optic Texas to get that second through the loop, and we didn't leave in the first half. The bottom left side.
وين كذي حقه؟
I wouldn't be shocked if Shotzi beat the kill record on this map and mode specifically throughout the entirety of this season.
Yeah, I mean, you just saw a team that was totally in control. And, you know, talking about overload, especially on Den, like when you can get it up through the BSD side, you get in their base, it is so difficult for the team to wrap back and find those kills, right? You can just take your time until that perfect opportunity is there. And, you know, once that does happen, like you said, shots you can just get lost and wreak havoc while the team plays the reset. Optic just
أنا أحسهم بيشيلونه.
Falcons at this point. That being said, though, like Falcons, it's something to build off of. You just went up against Optic. They're a very tough opponent. There was life in the hardpoint and the search and destroy. Just need to make some strides here in Overload.
We'll see where they go from here. Optic for now still at the top of the tier list. All of the boys are shining. The question is, who earned your scuff play of the game? We'll have that for you in just a moment. I have a feeling it's coming from Search and Destroy because we had two standout players dropping some bombs on us statistically, Ali.
It's Shotzi and Mercules for sure. I mean, Shotzi was going off in that Search.
ثامر يمديك تدخل البث يمديك تدخل البث حقي يا ثامر تشوف اصواتكم موجوده.
Always going to win his ones. You put him on an island, he's always going to win his ones. Maybe find the two. It makes the map so much easier for everybody else.
So here it is. It is your scuff play of the game. Nameless, walk me through these two. Mercules playing alongside Shotzi. Two different roles, same role. What are their roles on the squad? What did they do in Search?
Yeah, like I said, Optic put a lot of trust in Mercules to kind of play by himself because when players do try to flurry over towards where he's at, he's going to find multi-kills, as you just saw. And here goes Shotzi finding two in the flank. And why that round was so big from Shotzi is that you only get 2 lives with a sniper.
والله حرام عليك مدرب ابو
take
كلب.
him out for the second life before you could have a massive impact. And this is what you get from a guy like this on a map.
ليه غيروا المدرب
It
يا
can be contentious. It's tough to go out there and take those fights. He's not afraid to take the space and get onto your side. So great plays by Shotzi.
ما ادري لا اذا هو الاول حق السنه راحت والله ممتاز المدرب. بس يبغى تكتيك كويس. كسمة ما كان في يومه. اكسنت شوف اكسنت لو كان في يومه صدقني اللعب يختلف حتى لو كسمة مقصر شوي.
I mean, a little bit, just because the expectation you set for yourselves. If anything, I'm honestly thinking back to last year when Shotzi was talking like, oh, everybody's not taking scrim serious enough and everybody wants to win. And that's when we saw the dip. So I think maybe just don't talk any smack.
Yeah, they haven't talked smack since raising that first trophy.
يا حبيبي شوف الطقم
headed into their home major.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they have
يا حبيبي شوف الطقم ده اللي شاريه انا على الفاضي.
That's a good sign.
شاري طقم فالكون كامل.
We're gonna get an interview for you
خلاص
all here in about 30 seconds. Ideally, we will be having one of our Optic players on the line any moment. Nameless, as we wrap things up, though, we're gonna see 2 other juggernauts taking the stage later tonight. That's LA Thieves versus FaZe Vegas.
Yeah.
Who do you think is closer to Optic right now?
It's hard to say. I think both those teams are in the exact same spot. They played each other in the Kason Showdown. I believe it was LA Thieves that took that series 3-1. Wouldn't be surprised though if Vegas took it. Like both these teams, like star-studded lineups, right? In respawn, they can absolutely take over. I think a lot of people.
تدري لو يجيبون او خالد.
Oh, well, he's in Dallas. He's not in Vancouver anymore, right? He's in Dallas. So.
مو خالد. او خالد هذا حق.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to a break. When we come back, we'll have more Call of Duty. It's a win-win.
خالد اكسر.
Opening day here for the CDL.
كسمت كويس اليوم. لا تبى الصدق الله تبى الصدق سعود مقصر زيادة. ليه؟ لا والله كسمت كسم صادق. بس كسمت ترى بدع في الجيمين اللي بعد الهارد. اتوقع انها تكتيك. اتوقع تكتيك ها. لا التكتيك ما حتى الهارد ترى لو تلاحظ حتى بس في النص اي في بداية جدوا. على قولتهم طقعوا على اخر ركعة. اي فرق بوينت ترى عادي الله يجيبونها. ما كملوا. لا بعدها بانت قوة شوتزي. صار شوتزي يحشرهم. صار يدبل. ايه مسكاته تخوف. ملك اللعبة مستقبلا الله يقويك بس حاليا لا. اسطاوة هذه الله يحرمنا منها. لا راح ياكل كو. كيف برد اقسم بالله لا تاريخي. ايوه انت تدري برد ان تدري ان برد جايك هو بطل عالم ولا ما تدري؟ هو ما عبتك يعني بطل عالم يعني مو بنفس كسمة ما حقق شيء موسم راح مع فريقه. بعد لو خلوا بريستا افضل. بريستا كيف الدب ارسيتس وبريستا والله اصلا صار بيطلع. لا لان لا ليه تدري ليه يكون سيء؟ لان الجودة اللي عندك اقوياء. عندك شيليوم نجم قوي وعندك بريد اكيد اللي جنبه بيطلعون اذا مو من نجوم من اول اكيد. يعني زي الحين زي اول كريستيانو مع بنزيما يكون يلعبوا مع بعض. ما حد كان يعرف بنزيما وكان يضيع وكان مدري وشو وجماهير ريال مدريد ما يدنونه. بس شوف يوم طلع كريستيانو بدع بنزيما. لا مو زي كذا. لا جيب لعيبه على نص على الاقل حول مستواهم. خليك سند وطلع بريستا. خل كسب
you know, just push and pace, running at him. Makes it pretty easy for me.
3.0 and search look pretty easy today.
اسمع لو يجيبون هذا اللي مع أوبتك ماركلس. نشهد.
Yeah, I definitely think we have an edge off the beginning, just off chemistry and stuff.
يا رجال من كيف من صغير عمره 17 الحين هو كيف من صغير؟
I love that, man.
Merc, I want to get in your head a little bit. Talk to me kind of about the pressure coming into this season, a little bit on your shoulders and how you're handling that. Because after just such an insane run at the tail end, I mean, obviously coming into this, it's like Mercules is saving Optic Texas. They are maybe a dynasty now in the making. What has that pressure like been for you? Because you were a rookie.
I don't really feel any pressure, to be honest, because I don't know. I have a bunch of vets around me, and they just make it easy. So, yeah, I don't feel any pressure, to be honest.
Mercules, who is the most overrated team coming into opening weekend?
I don't know. We haven't even scrimmed every team yet, so I don't have an answer for you on that one.
Awesome. Mercules, thank you so much for joining
حتى
us. I
بالكورة.
didn't hear the producer was talking to me, but I know you're a kind boy. We're going to hear more from Mercules and many more winner circles in the future. For now, though, we got to get ready for another matchup. Optic will
تغير
be playing on
تفكيره،
Sunday,
يتغير
so
كل شيء.
that is the next time they'll be taking the stage. But right now, we've got a team rocking baby blue taking on another green squad. It is the Carolina Royal Ravens facing off against the Boston Breach. And Nameless, if you're looking at the standings, these were two teams that were right in the middle of things all last
ودي اشوف
season,
سنوبي.
both coming in
ابغى
with
اشوف
some
سنوبي
roster
يا عيال الحين.
shakeups. Where do you have them right now in your power rankings?
Yeah, you know, preseason indicators would
سنوبي
have
اللي
them
مع
pretty low. Coming into we'll
ولا
start with the
تغيرت
Royal Ravens.
تشكيلة
You see the
كاملة
Slasher, Slasher, Craze,
حقت
Lurks, and Nero.
ريل
Nero now going to be running an AR for the team, so that's a big dynamic shift in his gameplay. You got Lurks coming up from Challengers. He was playing with Stallions last year, had a decent amount of success.
رويال
They're gonna be looking to develop him, and then Craze, who made a huge
تغيرت لا تغيروا اثنين
last
الصبح.
year, a guy that I've been super high on.
تدري واحد منهم عمره واحد منهم عمره 32.
Completely agree with that statement. I just think for me, the Carolina Royal Ravens is a huge question mark. I mean, we know what will get us Slasher Lurks, so coming over at least from Halo, that's a player that we have not seen. We look at the side of Nero, and Nero making a role change when we're used to him being such a aggressive forward SMG. Just I worry about the dynamic of this team.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know Carolina shocked people in the Monster Energy tournament. They went further in that bracket than a lot of people expected, and Craze was popping off. I'm expecting that SMG to be the player to watch. On the other side, in our hot takes, a community member said that Snoopy is going to finish on an all-star team. If he's not the only
Boston,
one, which one of his three teammates do you think would join him? Nasty, Purge, or Cammy up next?
I almost have to lean either Nasty or Purge.
تغير واحد منهم بس.
Strong, especially tail end of the year last year on Boston Breach. I mean, they were making some incredible runs near the tail end of this year. It was just some inconsistency. And then you look on the side of Nasty, he was on Vancouver
السمجيات قعدوا
surging as an
السمجيات
AR.
قعدوا
He was
بس.
in the top conversation multiple times more often than not. So
الAR
this is an upgrade for the Boston Breach roster.
واحد
I have them way further ahead than anywhere I had Carolina Royal Ravens last year.
Listen, it pains me to say it, but it was right for Gigawake to get dropped.
Oh my God!
And it's time to bring in Nasty.
Oh my God, he
Listen,
did it.
Nasty's been a guy where everywhere that he's went recently, they have found success, and they've been an underdog, and he's developed so
بس
much,
ترى
and he's going to be such a good player for these guys.
فالكونز بس طلع واحد.
Snoopy on the map, but also to be
جابوا
like
واحد.
that voice in practice to get them over the hump. So I think Boston with one of the more
بدأوا
underrated moves in the preseason so far, they haven't looked the best, but they have a massive opportunity here to start off 1-0 with not the hardest match.
يقول اوه لويجي بس.
I am so happy with the pickup of Nasty. For those of you who watch the NFL, it's like George Pickens landing at the Cowboys. You know the potential. He was wasted on other teams, showcased his skills on some new ones. Where is he going to finish here on Boston? That is the big question for me. We got to get our maps and modes and some pick'ems in here. So, Alley Cat, leaning into this one, are you feeling Boston first to 3 or Carolina?
Oh, I'm going Boston Breach first to 3 for sure.
كلنا والله كلنا عشان غير الشاشة
I
أنا
just
بعد.
don't feel confident in the Royal Ravens.
عرفت المونستر ذا يا ثامر.
I think
الأداء
this is our
ذي
game
عرفتها
5,
تذكرها.
and I'm actually going to go Carolina in this one. I do think Boston had some upgrades. Preseason indicators have been great, but I think Carolina get this one done.
I have seen enough. Craze wins. Boston bombed out. I don't think they get it done. I think Carolina is going to start off their season 1-0. It's time to find out how right are we, how wrong are we? We've got your caster duo remotely, of course. It's Miles and Chance.
I love the way that you kept it open there, Chris, because you never know. You could be real wrong about this one. Excited to get the debut, of course, Lurks and Craze here in the league as well. Craze turned a lot of heads at EWC. Big splash indeed. Shout out to the Stud fam. We'll see how it goes with the Ravens alongside the Vet, Slasher, and of course Nero, who, let's face it, is a demon, Charles.
Yeah, and him being on an AR role is going to be a very interesting thing to watch because he is a light speed player in the mix, hyper aggressive, and whether or not he tries to bring that and mold that to an M15 play style, or if he's actually going to truly switch things up and try to, you know, rediscover himself with an AR. Either way, insanely high skill cap player, going to be a ton of fun to watch, but Carolina, very much a team, sort of unknown quantity. We really don't know what to expect at this level. Boston is a very good test for them because Boston, in my opinion, really good dark horse team for the year. If you're in the market for a dark horse pick, you know, their stocks sort of going up in that sense. But we know they're going to be good. At the very least, it's going to be a solid squad. They have a good coaching staff behind them, a well-orchestrated game plan, smart players across the board. Cammy, veteran in his own right. At this point, it feels like Nasty's a veteran. Snoopy's well into his CDL season. This is his 4th one he's going to be participating at. So we know Boston are going to be good. The question for Boston is, can they ascend and like solidify themselves in a top 4 spot? And so for Carolina, we get to find out sort of how the cookie's going to crumble, where they stand next to that pillar, and an opportunity to start their year off right.
And a right year they would love to have. An org that has had great success at the start of last season, the Black Ops 6 season. We saw them, I think, peak really at minor 1 tournament, which is a difficult thing to say because after that it was kind of downhill. We'll see if that can be the case, see if they can pull up get the updraft and really start to take flight. Almost ready to get into our series, focusing. There's a slight crash there. Excited to see Cammy once again on another Black Ops title. Pre-season, you know, shambles from Cammy, pretty good chance, I can't lie. He looks solid. Snoopy again, he had a very, very good look in a lot of the matches I saw him play. A very, very explosive player. And again, alongside Nasty, who has had a really, really good BO6 year. Again, a lot of love there for that Boston Breach roster. I think as a dark horse pick, you are absolutely right on the money there. A solid, solid squad indeed. Again, this should be a very, very good matchup. Are these two teams, you know, sitting at front-running spots for winning tournaments? Not at the moment, but God only knows how far the ceiling is for these squads. Very, very excited to see the youngest player in the league play today. I mean, Lurks, from 19 years old, and not a fun thing to do to load in against another set of demons, but truly living the dream. Let's see if it's a nightmare or not.
And he, you know, he's got the oldest player in the league there to back him up as well. So Carolina runs young, but they got that veteran leadership, and Slasher's a guy. He's had, I mean, in terms of current players, the most storied career of anybody. 2-time world champ. He's been around the block. Like his first 2 tournaments he played back in like Black Ops 2, he was the guy placing like your top 20s. It's a great placement. We're working our way up. So the type of experience and grind that Craze and Lurks are currently going on, Slasher has been there in this moment. And same thing from Nero, like having to make adjustments sort of, I don't want to say in the middle, but in your like year 5, year 6, like you're in the swing of things. Slasher can offer some guidance there. And of course, the pure competitor that he is. An interesting team. Of course, if it doesn't go well, we're going to be a little bit fearful for this squad, but that is why Boston's sort of the perfect matchup. And on the flip side for Boston, Snoopy, I think it was Cricket Fan at the top of the show that brought it up. Snoopy's a really good shout in terms of, like, this game might have been designed for him. The type of dynamic play that he has brought, at least in the early preseason tournaments, he has been an absolute nightmare to deal with on the map. Of course, coming up here in Black Ops 6 for Snoopy, in my opinion, the most clutch player in the league, or like in the top 3 conversation. He legit like had a 50% clutch rate for 1v2s and then 1v3s. And the way Boston designed their S&D game plan was to set players like him up for the clutch. So I'm very excited to see these guys in map 2 and 5 as well. Maybe Purge is going to do some fun things with the rocket overload as well. It's a team I trust to really put the time in. So once we do get going, it's going to be a good time.
That's an interesting thing to say, Chance, to trust. A fun one from Brian Stats, that Nero has not lost. Well, he's 4-0 so far in league opening matches. Nero bringing the goods, and many of those wins were under this banner as well. So Nero no shy to the games against Boston, the games with Boston. These are highlights from champs way back in Kitchener, and let me tell you, mate, Purge was lit. Bringing down the Thieves there. They had a fantastic run. Again, a great thing to do to raise your stock at the end of a year like this. And Snoopy, again, from his debut to the league, his first event was a championship. Like, that is, like, champs, imagine that being your first event. It technically was my first event. But for a player, that's a lot, man. That's a lot to do. So for him to come in under the guys in the wings of Doug Sensor Martin, who currently has a pretty solid record against a lot of pro teams.
توقعاتك مجدوف.
I'm just saying, it's the truth. Wheeler brought it up on the desk earlier. No one picked up on it. No one picked up on that, which was crazy. That was a criminal moment in Call of Duty League broadcast history. I'm excited to see how Snoop does, man. He's just going from strength to strength. The guy is figuring it out. Very, very young player. Very, very strong talent, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And the
ما
first map we have
تتوقع
in
انت
the series
زي
is going to
يعني
be
تشوف الفريق
Colossus,
الثاني
which
قوي.
I think
لا.
Colossus might develop
والله أنا
into,
مثلك.
you know, Bocage is the original
مرتين
skyline.
كامل.
It had those like little it's your bang out map. It's going to be hyper aggressive.
يا اخواني ما ضاف مجدوف اللي يتابعني. لما ضاف مجدوف
Not every player on your team. The ARs don't get this degree of freedom, but you
أكيد بث
can
مشترك.
tell your SMG players
ونتابع
turn
سوا.
your brain off and go chow. You sprint forward as
شوف
fast as you
عندك
possibly
بوستن
can. Take as many gunfights.
اللي بيفرق معهم سنوبي والله.
These guys that has 10 more deaths at the end of the map compared to everybody else.
سنوبي خطير والله. ايما ترى بالاسم جي.
Absolutely be bringing that energy and I mean this is like historically
الله
I'd say
يسعدك.
Nero would be right there to match him.
يا
Now
حبيبي.
it's a new dynamic and I got to see what crazy
قل لي
works
شو
are going to
اسمك
bring to
أنت؟
the table.
نحدد.
They absolutely have their work cut out for them.
Do indeed. I'm just keeping updates on not only the status of the game, trying to get back in this one, but also the status of my drops so far. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm just making sure that I'm getting that controller emblem, the 1 hour XP token, and the Iceman calling card. An hour 30. I should have opened it at the start of the stream. Rookie mistake from the professional. How dare I? Just excited to see Nasty alongside Cammy this season as well. Nasty, Mr. Byron Plumridge himself had a very, very good year on Black Ops 6 under the Vancouver Surge banner. Second place. I mean, it hurts, but also what a transformation for a player like that. Really, really strong individual player, great teammate. Stoked to see how that all goes down. Folks, I have received an update. We have it in the lobby crash. We're going to wait. Oh, whoa. Another update.
المعلق اليمين هذا. في عندك تشويش عندك الفيديو
كلهم صدق.
Pretty close to getting him off that snap. But yeah, again, for the rookie's debut, not an easy thing to do against quite a well-seasoned, well-oiled, not
والله تشويش والله توني لاحظ. انا حسبته جدار كذا.
Done frying. So I think for the Ravens, this is going to be a tall test for them. But that makes it all the more exciting. Folks always ask me, Miles, when's the game going to start? On the other side of this break.
شكرا على الفولو يا طلو.
دقيقة وجه.
خذ راحتك يا مجدوف. احبك اخوك من العراق. منور يا من العراق. والله ما انت بصايد. طلعت انت. اللي مسمي نفسك طلوا ليه؟ اوه طلوا.
شوف يا اخي يوزر حطيته في اول يوزر اخر يوزر حطيته في الاستخدام عشان تعتمد باي حساب اسويه.
وش أنستا؟
قبل على ايام قبل قبل ما احد طاره في كل مكان.
طيب اسمع، حط ارو بش. هذا وين؟ باقي طيب حط ما حطيت بالكتروني انت من الاعدادات يبغى له
يحكي لي قصة حياته يا
من هو؟
اي تمام
شوف
مفتاح البث الاساسي وضع يعني هالدرجة تضبطون ماضي الحبايب والله يوقفون يا
لا بث سوا انا ببث السي دي الكامل باذن الله. اصمل معي من جدوف تراني بصمل تكي ونسولف اذا انت فاضي عرفت.
انا ناوي اروح الطايف بكره ناوي اروح الطايف بكره ان رحت وخلصت خلاص اضمن لك سيدين كلها خلاص ما في محتوى اللي هي
يا عمري يا شيخ.
بس لا يفاجئون مباراة ظهرية مباراة عصرية يعني
لا حاليا لا
وقت احنا صاحبين
حاليا لا. انا ترى عندي الجدول اذا تبي اعلم ازعل الجدول عندي.
اجل ذكرني انا خايف انسى ذكرني قلت ترى بكره في مباراة
تم
المباريات ترى كلها ذكريات وذا
كلها للفجر ترى كلها ل 11 للفجر اغلبها يعني.
كويس
ونجد الجوت يا ولد شوف في الشعار فيز خلوه وردي وخلوه اف مقلوب يا اخي اغبي هذولي. اتوقع انهم يدعمون الفئه ذيك يا مجدوب صح؟
لا 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 فكروا
قلت فيز انا يا عيال فيز فريق اجنبي ايش فيكم؟
والله ما ادري يمكن ما ادري
دخل صعب بس اني احس كذا ما ادري
احس كذا وش يعني
اي ذنب.
خلص مباريات السجل بروح البيت اسوي 2 اندومي مع جبن شوية صلصة شوية بهارات عصرة ليمون
يو
يا لا
ما نام ابو شهري
ما ادري والله
وين جاي انت؟
ترى سحبت ما لعبت مع الوليد ولا شيء سحبت يا اخي انشغلت.
We might be ready to party. John's already partying right now, guys. Look at him go. Look at him go! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. To match number 2, I should say, of the 2026 Call of Duty League season. So far, off to a good start for an Optic Texas fan, 3-0 over the Falcons. But now we have the Carolina Royal Ravens taking on Boston Breach. Teams with, I wouldn't say a tremendous rivalry between them throughout the last few years, but excited to go watch them go toe-to-toe nonetheless. The debut of 2 rookies for the Ravens. On the side of Boston Breach, well-seasoned, well-oiled, tasty vets.
رو فيلم يا حبيبي فيلم ليته كويس يعني.
الكلب اللي نبح ايش يقول؟
يقول يا سيدي ولا ما دخل.
New Optic in the preseason was going to be one of the top teams. They proved that in Riyadh Falcons. We know there's going to be some kinks they have to work out in the roster, and while they're going to have a lot of fun exploring that and figuring it out, these are 2 teams in a similar spot of decently high expectations for Boston, but they're just trying to elevate their game. They got third place at champs last year. They've made a roster adjustment. It seems like the construction of the team is incredibly well designed. So definitely an organization I have quite a bit of faith in. Like the coaching staff have quite a bit of faith in. On the flip side for Carolina, I think taking risks on unknown factors, 2 new faces to the CDL. You never quite know what you're gonna get anytime they actually have to boot up to a lobby like this. So a lot of fun, a lot of things to learn and discover. It's a day of discovery, Miles.
A day of discovery, and as you said, figuring out the kinks. Good luck on that discovery journey, an interesting one indeed. But yeah, we're almost ready to get into our first map of the series. We did have a lobby crash just before that break, and by now, looks like everything's hot shot, ready to go. Excited to get into this one. I'd love to look at the maps and modes again if we could, production team. That'd be a wonderful thing to bring up once more just before we get into the full swing of things. Colossus, first time we're going to be seeing that played here in the COD League. Scar Session Destroyer as well, a lot of fun there. Another day, and interesting to see another day. I thought we'd be seeing Scar personally, but hey, that's the way it goes. Colossus, so chance, as you said, brain off submachine gun players, go for it. P1 in its own right. Those 2 ways in, two sets of stairs in, and then the wall jump off of that little top balcony. It is going to be an explosive affair.
It is the map where, hey, do you want to break a kill record? Have fun on 250, 249 kind of performance. Someone might be able to drop 50 on this map in a CDL competition, so that's going to be fun to see. Exposure plays very differently than Colossus in general, and very differently now that P4 has been adjusted. The hill, rather than being sort of underneath the ring on the front side of it, shifted it to a brand new building, sort of in the back center, and is definitely going to be a hill that has a ton of priority. And if you ever play this map for the first time, you prioritize this statue access into P1. Whoever controls this controls the world. Royal Ravens take on Boston Breach. Here we go into our first map. Not a lot of time gained from this opening P1. It's been a solid amount of kills either side. But there we go. The Ravens are in. Of course, the Carolina Royal Ravens in there. Gorgeous blue. As Lux finds his kills. So far, turn it into a 4.
كرولكس هذا بقي حي كرولكس.
And as long as he is here, his teammates knows that you do not have to worry about statue control, so he can do a little bit of a dance, deal with 2 players on this rotation. And now he's got Nero's the reinforcements. It looks like Cammy Steel with the pressure on.
اسمع لو تذكر في واحد بالتيم في رويال اسمه كرولكس صدق حرفيا. عرفته؟ كرولكس لا ما هو موجود طلع من عندهم حرفيا ايه.
Exactly what you are looking for. Cammy looks like he's shooting hot for a second longer there, but a nice 2v1 situation now. Time flips it in favor of the Ravens.
Control, you get a highlight play out of lurks, and more importantly, you got a guy blocking the back spawns. Oh dear baby, 35 seconds for the final bit of this P2 hill. Carolina looking to get it all. Nero even wins.
والله وإنه فالكم ما عززته كذا. يو عمري والله قوي
Lurks this year fighting Cammy, and they had the pinch on time, so Carolina with the edge on the rotation, and they got a 26-point lead.
Oh, we're gonna keep riding the Lurks train so far, 8-2. Keep finding those kills. Craze pushing out those players from new. Eyes on, great intel, and the old in and out puts Purge down before he can barely take a bite.
ما 3 مرات الحين أعطيته عين.
Once again, it is a war on 2 fronts right now through the middle of the
سنوبي سنوبي ميت 10 مرات ذبح كل واحد.
But neither team able to really get a lot of time here. Chance
ذبح كل واحد ابو جذوف سنوبي.
A minute off the game clock so far. It's not excessive, but
110 تخيل 110 11 الحين ميت.
Finally gets dealt with in Boston. The first bit of like stabilization we've seen on this hill, and admittedly it's only for the final 20. You see those blue Carolina arrows really shifting for the bottom and left side of the map. Nasty gets overwhelmed, and Carolina happy to play the long game. They'll trade away 20 seconds this hill time. They will set themselves up for new.
I'm trying to remember what was Bocage before Bocage. What was the bang out map for the Vanguard year? Nuketown, good God. Wow, It's all down to Lurks. What do you got, mate? Well, you had plenty of damage, but you ran into a Cammy and he put you down. Over towards low left-hand side of the minimap, fueling, the game calls it. Slasher now trying to make his way through the rear.
كان علق.
Oh, baby. Cammy once
Cammy's
again.
looking good, baby.
Finding the big ones, 12 and 7.
عليكم السلام.
John Wick.
وعليكم السلام. منور منور ايش؟
Nero looks over the win there, so now we're still holding this one. Breach are alive. Breach are well. Breach are looking healthy, and they are regular here on time. One more man to get. Purge is on it. He's dancing, he's diving, and he's dying again to Nero.
Hey, all I know is if you got Snoopy at 4-15 and you got a 20-second lead,
$20.
that is a phenomenal sign there for Boston Breach. They're enjoying it. They are Purge taking the routes as well. He might get caught, but maybe the P1 will be the factor of success for Carolina. It's where they look their best the first of the rotations rolling through. But after all is said and done, Boston Breach a nearly 40-second lead, and they run over P1 with the AR players.
Not bad whatsoever. Well, back we go to P1.
سنوبي ذاب حربة.
Slow down a little.
116.
Slasher, what a nice two there on the nasty, and Snoopy is old Boston Breach teammates. Now they have control of the hard point. Thinking about P2 as well, thinking about a lot of things.
شوف متخاذل والاخويا شارين الليله ترى. شوف
that is a submachine gun, and that was one heady rip.
الوحيد اللي معهم شايل الليله كامي.
Yeah, good little jump as well to hop off the time, trying to oscillate as much as possible. 2 kills going in the favor of Carolina. Nero looking to capitalize with the aggression, or maybe wants to play it nice and patient. Of course, though, Cammy gets 2. And if you hesitate in this game, you just get run over. Boston Breach right back in position. Of course, though, for the spawns, Carolina currently have the right side of the map, but we've said they're there first before, and they did not always hold on for a long time.
حيك سنوبي يا مجنون.
Here we go. Slash's long game pays off as he gets himself into his time. Backside completely covered there by Nero. 2 players in the middle of the map, and Snoopy flies his way
اتوقع تكتيك تكتيك يمكن يا مجدوف تحليلك.
break as Breach are in.
Yeah, and again 8-17, and they got a 30-point lead, so they're going to enjoy that, enjoy the back spawns, and look for the sort of re-break. You got pressure towards the middle of the map, so Nero on side of the point is going to feel pressure.
بس ترى اخوياي شايلين الليله لو تلاحظ.
الله سنوبي شال والله شال والله مجنون.
I mean, really, just actual king of the hill has been Carolina.
It
has not been an easy fight at all. I mean, this is a war effort on side P2.
رأيك والله خطير خطير.
We're thinking about 3 soon, and right now, no one in a great position to get over there quickly. It's going to be a foot race once again. Lurks versus
ايه مجدوف لو تلاحظ
as they make their way
لو
forward.
تلاحظ مجدوف ترى اخوياه شايلين الليله وهو مترول. اخوياه ترى ما قصروا مره.
No need. Cammy's flak jacket takes care of business there. Craze on the mid-map pinch once again. A bit of discontent now on the attack towards time as Craze on a 4 spree.
جايب 21.
Just looking halfway towards that hellstorm, and the hard point finally has a Raven nested inside it.
Oh yeah, well this so far has been an
سلاشر لوريكس شالو والله يسلايد يكسر الظهر سلاشر.
Clean 4 down you're looking for though. 30 seconds left on the time, and how quickly they just spread the map. So much so I think Purge was expecting a bit more aggression, but they got the 4 down snap. First 10 seconds has been great. Carolina now trying to break for the first time, and it is not looking good. Nasty deals a ton of damage, and his teammates there for the follow-up kills. Beautifully orchestrated there by Boston. It's a small map, but when you get those moments, you gotta capitalize. They do so there.
Yeah, the Ravens, good rotations, but hold the hard point, never more. Not going great. Breach with a slight lead. Big rotation once again for the Ravens. Will they hold this time? We get to test the brakes of Boston Breach once more. Onto the breach. Here we go. Over the top. The wall hop's not fantastic. Nasty finds a bit of a team kill, and once again a contest. Nasty in, trying to find the kills quickly. Not going to happen. Cammy there on the effective trades, and ladies and gentlemen, once again, Boston Breach break the Ravens.
He got it. It was beautiful. It was calibrated, and even with that initial team kill rolling through, they made sure
بيني بينك افضل احس انه افضل
set themselves up long.
افضل من حق اوفرلود. احسه ما يصلح في اي ما يصلح في الوورد. اي ممكن. تكتيك وماب والله صراحه ماب ترى الماب يخدم بعد.
Shots in from Slasher. It's a slightly slower attack here from the Ravens. The Fundy's good. The holds like a wet paper bag. Breach over the 200-point mark. We go back over towards P1, and once again the boys are in. Slasher trying to do things himself, but his teammates have been dropped around him as Breach now with a P1 hold.
Yeah, and I think this is just going to be the runaway sort of moment. Moments of discontent, discombobulated his Carolina, a little bit scattered there on the mini-map, trying to regroup. Nasty does get dealt with, and 3 in the feed. Snoopy trying to be a nuisance. As poor of a start as Snoopy has had, 16 and 25 doesn't look great, but he's honestly just been playing catch-up, so not too shabby. Of course, though, if you're an AR player on this P1, not easy to stay alive for either team. So Nasty dies, and Slasher made his way in, dies immediately after. It's time for the SMGs to get there. Virgin Snoopy
والله شايل الليلة. تدري شوف سنوبي شوف سنوبي. شوف سنوبي شوف الكيدي حق سنوبي.
Not a massive
سنوبي مرة رايح
in the kills department, but lovely squad. Too hard point up. Breach have got a man inside, and Nasty somehow walks away with 2. Unbelievable work. Red dots on the mini. What is this MW19? Yeah, no, it's not. They're on there. What's going on? Snoop through mid. What a bang.
ايوه كلينكس انا اقصده.
Third man upstairs.
يا ولد شنو بيدبل فيني الثالث لا
لا ما بدب ما بدب ما بدب دكس ما بدب.
And map 1 closes out for them.
It was a close game until it wasn't. Miles comfortable towards the end. And I think a map that is very difficult to sort of stabilize yourself. Greater opportunities. Boston
بس يا ولد
they completely
يا اخي شوف هذا عندهم تكتيك وعندهم يا طويل العمر السلامة متماسكين مع بعض فاهمين بعض. شوف حتى مع سوء سنوبي جابوا الجيم بس خل هذه الحركة في فالكون يضيع التيم كامل. يلعبوا البوينت ايه شوف الكيدي شوف عندك بريدج 17 122 عندك سنوبي 127 وذابح 20 كذي شوي خايف كلاب. هنا اعطاها نفس الفريمات ترى نفس الفريمات نفس البنك.
And I think P3 is like really that hill that's very difficult to actually push out the map, but when you get it, it's great. But it's the P2s and the P4s, you have to prioritize.
ايوه هذا صوت عندهم لان هم يلعبون والسيرفرات جنبهم كل مقر السيرفر جنبه. ايوه ما تدري هو في جدة ولا في الرياض ولا في البحرين.
سيرفرات البطولة فقط.
سيرفرات البطولة بطاقة صادق اللي هي على الستيج و
as it did not start great for the boys of Boston, but boy howdy did it end well for them. Lovely little bit of back and forth, but after that second set P2, no looking back, Boston straight to the finish line all the way.
بداية الجيم كان التقدم للفريق
Ravens chance. They did not have a lovely second set.
رويال.
It really did hurt them. But that's a again a fantastic start for Boston Breach.
Yeah, who got about 90 seconds of their total points there just on the P4s. So again, not necessarily a money hill in the extreme sense of a lockdown full 60, but when you get
كلام ثاني يختلف اللعب
and the 90 seconds on that.
أنا أحس ريال
towards the end, but Colossus, that is your bit of a bang out map there, and for a small S&D,
ما بيقلبها لا بيجيب الراوند هذا.
Particular style. The default stance on the attacking grounds is like you're leaning towards sort of A first, maybe 70-80% of the time, but you have to be very difficult getting trapped in. The B hits you need to be very selective about and very on point. Got to time it out with your trophies. Got to make sure everybody's on the same page. I'm excited to see Boston get to work on this map. I think they're a team that's really going to be able to bring the goods. And on the flip side, still a lot to learn from Carolina. Slasher is one of the most storied S&D players of all time. He's playing with a pure new gen team, though. It'd be fun to see what type of dynamic they bring.
And it's not just the idea that he's the true veteran here. I mean, the of the league, at 31 years old, the oldest player playing alongside the youngest player at 19 in looks. What will they learn from each other? What will be able to teach one another? It's going to be very, very interesting indeed. We'll get into that search and destroy in a moment. Scar, a very different map, as you brought up fantastically. Snipes, something we should be seeing a lot more of here on Scar. It's a bigger map, longer lines of sight. There's a couple of ones that have yet to really make the light of day.
اسمع المباراة اللي بعدها من
Plenty of opportunity here for big moment plays. Really, really exciting stuff. Can't wait for this one to get underway. And again, overload when we do get there, we'll go back to 10, as you saw in the first match of the day. Well, mate, Colossus might be the bang out. Might be the bang out this year. I wonder how the map pool will change. Season 1's brought some cool maps in there. Utopia's looking amazing.
يا مجدوف تدري أنا أحب اللعب فيز
as well, but
فيز
talking here in the Black Ops 7 world, the biggest
شفت
CDL
in a game السنة راحت.
There's a lot. So
كانوا
I'm quite
مبدعين
overwhelmed.
مبدعين.
Just breathing techniques.
ايوه لا كانوا يخسرون بس نادر يخسرون، خسروا جيمين او 3 ايام. لو تلاحظ في ايامهم ترى مو كلهم يبدعون، يعني يجيك اثنين يبدعون اثنين لا، بس الاثنين اللي يبدعون يشيلون الليله، يعني يكون واحد عن تيم يكون خرافي لعبه، فهمت؟ يغطي عيوب اللي مو مبدع، يغطي مره بزياده.
يعني شكلهم متفقين اثنين يمسكون كلات، اثنين يمسكون بوينت ولا
ايوه زي كذا، انا احسهم زي كذا. شوف سلاشر محلك ذا خايس.
Makes a case for it.
والله راحوا.
And he's done a really good job of
ناس يجيبهم.
والله شالوهم.
And the Royal Ravens are somewhat apart. And now the man is armed and dangerous.
ترى واحد ليش
There is an APB out for a red-haired man with an M15 and a recon sniper rifle. 35.
And he's just been able to walk up and pick up the bomb for free and nobody's home.
ما يقدر ما احس ان اللاعب اللي يقدر يحسم مع بعضهم. شوف يبغى يضمنون بزياده، خسرانين الجيم اللي راح يبغى يضمنون كل راوند في السيرش. يمشون عليه الحين يمشون هذا هو.
No dice, ladies and gentlemen. The 1v2 is over. The Ravens. معلق الجيم. الراوند لهم.
And shout out to Nasty for making sure he doesn't die until there's 5 seconds left to keep things as on point as possible. Look at that angle. That's a kill cam. Cammy's definitely gonna watch, and that is a 1v4.
يا ولد سنايبر لا تكفى سنايبر احس ما له امها داعي والله العظيم.
For free and clutch that round. That's crazy what they
allowed him to do. That's wild.
ايه في سيرش تدري بتخرب البطولة. تدري ايش بيفكرون الانديه الحين؟ بيفكرون لاعب يجيبون لاعب انه كويس في السنايبر وكويس في الاسولت. تقروش المنظمه، تقروش الفريق.
See how Slash's progress looks. Craig's gonna be the trophy carry here.
فهمت قصدي يا ثامر؟
Look how it looks. At first blood on the purge. Makes that side of the map feel a little safer.
هي حلوة.
We are waiting for the play.
هي حلوة ولا هي بحلوة؟
Someone to send it and Snoopy. You sure sent it, bruv. You didn't check the corner. Slasher finds another, and the Ravens. So clean.
ممكن تستفيد منها بعدين.
شوف ناستي ولا ناستي.
Not over yet. And they send it. A perfect pinch there to once again catch Nasty out.
طب عيب الفرد يا عيال.
With a ton of kills, but not around to his name yet.
And the way that this sort of map can play out, I think that's actually a great one to highlight for Carolina. All 4 players working the side. You just have no control of the remainder of the map. Purge goes on the massive flank, and everybody on Boston knows you've contained these 4 players here. Carolina, though, may be happy for it. Slasher, the type that says, "Oh, we're surrounded. That's a problem." Still bringing the fight to us, but just ever so slightly over aggressive there for Boston. Carolina able to capitalize and punish. And Nero's already set the tone with a snipe, so even off the rip, you got to be a little bit more careful.
Bear in mind the life count of our snipers here. Nasty down by 1, Nero down by 1 as well.
هو المشكلة يعني
Options here for our snipe players.
برد يبدع.
Slow approach here from Snoop, trying to get himself close towards the A-bomb site. Knows all. Oh, nice.
ترى اول جيم ترى باقي ما حرقوا مع بعض. ترى يمكن يبدعون يمكن انا ودي.
Snoop trying to keep him at bay. Bait him out for Nasty. Oh, who's been caught on the transition. Beautiful work there from Slasher. 3-0 with a 3v3.
Yeah, Slasher's flexing the Warhawk vibes, I'd say, with the timing there on the pinch. Nonetheless, though, 3v3 and the bomb planted.
توقع من مدرب يعني راح دبر نيرو.
Wow, that was a fantastic stun to catch him, and then Nero showing off that if you can fire with an SMG, your shot's going to be even more on point with an AR. Project for a clutch, but this is looking hopeless.
Yeah, the boys are going to be collapsing on the site momentarily with 25 seconds to go. Purge, you're going to have to get a very clean first kill directly into a second. You let a man dive on towards the bomb. That's enough. It is not over yet. 15-ish seconds to roll, and the man could have made a case for the second, but he did not get the first. Crazy Nero close it out, and the Ravens on a spree here. They have caught
اي والله حسيت لا شك في تحليلي من بداية القمام.
The other time for just making sure you catch Snoopy off of that bomb. And again, the stun was absolutely perfect. The double kill.
شايف اللعبة كلها كيف فرق الولد الجول راح.
The first two, this was the replay. He put these guys down and out.
حله خطأ اللي فوق ما عزز له مات معه اللي هو كامي. عليكم السلام عليكم السلام يا بزارة منور الشيء. تراك داخل بين ثلاثة كل. ايه قاعدين نبث كلنا يا ابو وزارة ثلاثة يبثون. والله مامي وادخل على تويتش وعطنا فولو. بسرعة لا انا ايه اسمع ايش اسمع ايش فيه 32 عمره توني قايل للعيال انا
يا ولد
ايوه يلعب اسولت
انا ما له في المداقشه.
لا بس لو انت تجيبه بس مجي تشقه بس لا يشوفك من بعيد بعيد عشك بالايم حقه
يعني
خبره والله وايمه كويس من بعيد.
قالوا خبره قالوا هاك
لا يخلوني بس العب بالسجين والله لا
قلت لهم خبره قالوا هاك.
هلا ابو شيري
Your bomb carrier died solo.
هاي ابو شيري بالشات
I think Boston basically on A, so they felt the lack of pressure there on the A site this time and looked to get aggressive just to sniff him out. And there you go, clean shots from Purge for the first blood, and nobody was home for the trade.
الله يحفظك يا حبيبي.
Ravens session is really looking as clean as possible until that round, but Praise really well. We'll see if we can't get any more clutches, Charles. We're getting a whole lot so far. Pressure now in from the mid. Nasty. Hold it a second longer, mate. Nero might come back for a second bite.
بريدج كله واحد يا شيخ.
Nasty desperate
لا
for
تقتل
it.
المتعة يا مشل لا تقتل.
ناستي خلينا نشوف.
Timing. That's what this year is going to be like.
خلونا
ايه خلاص اسمع لا تعطي هيثم وجه يا ابو زارة بيقعد يخرب. خليه يسكت هيثم.
اسمع في سموك يا
ايه في سموك في السيرش هذا في السيرش.
عشان السنايبر.
You saw the plant at least. Yeah, the legs were sticking out. And the remaining 30 seconds here, Slasher. I mean, I don't think he hit any more headshots there.
ايه في السيرش والسنايبر في السيرش. يا جابوا الراوندين دول متى بسرعة.
I give the Carolina Royal Ravens their flowers here in Search Destroy, but it's slowly starting to wilt. Good old Snoop. This corner, I mean, just make yourself friends. Whenever you enter shop, check the corner where the sort of
يعني أدب وكذا.
Very wall bangable as well. So situationally, you could just throw some bullets through to go for that spot check as well. Either way, though, that is a very
تقعد تفضفضون هنا يا عيال.
the pressure. It's all about the timing.
تعال بالله احنا نبغى جو اللعبة، خليكم معنا بالمتابعات.
Stabilizes himself.
يكون أفضل يا عيال.
مقصد والله ما مقصد واحد والله الكلام للكل.
Boston here for the square. Two players on the defensive end ready for the fight, or maybe less ready than they should have been. Nero though gets caught. They had the numbers.
Yeah, could account for the second man. Whoa, there's the wallbang you talked about. Snoop gets it right on a craze. And Snoopy, what a round this is. Cool. 5 spree. Cammy joins him there in the feed, and they chase across map complete. I do believe Snoopy died in the final seconds there. But Breach find their 3rd round in a row, the equalizer here on Scar.
And that is a round that makes you feel like you have a lot of momentum as well. Nero gets off great damage on the 2 players up top, but Snoopy there for the instant trade, and the fact that he turned it, if he actually did that just with a straight up ball bag, like X-ray vision.
I think he did. Here we go. This is it. Straight in.
Thank you, Snoopy. That's exactly what I was talking about. My man.
My man, indeed. Yeah, he does unfortunately fall there seconds before Purge picks up the final kill, but hey, man, you'll take it. 6 and 5 out of Snoop there.
Snoop for the ace and the bomb plant. Mr. Do It All, my favorite player. Let's go.
It's locked. Bets are off.
Oh, never mind. Look at that setup. They are ready for. I think Slasher's done it twice, pinching through this like outer lane. They send everybody waiting for that pressure.
It lurks first on a purge there. So the player by boats, that top right hand side of the map, gone. Forcing the play towards A right now for Boston Breach. Down to man, how will they fare?
سريع بزيادة. يعني يبغى لك واحد
checks it all. Somebody position to cover. No, Nero snipes his way through. Nice moves there out of Snoopy. Off the jump, the damage on a slasher was sensational. Cammy on the flank picked up, and now all down to Snoopy. Unable to pick up his kill. It would have been a 1v2, but now he finds himself back firmly pressed against the wall. Toe-to-toe with a big gun. Round 2 against Lurks. He's looking for the wall jump. Goes for the close range hit, and it's not going to happen. Ravens take the lead.
Dude, it's getting twisted, but yeah, absolutely. I think that first nade kill, really on point. I assume Purge is running flak jacket, so I know Lurks got credit for the kill, but that is probably multiple players on the side of Carolina having their nades cooked up and ready to go. And they were pretty distant on the map, so this is a team. They are doing their homework as well. A huge round there from Carolina. You stop the bleeding. Boston was winning some quick ones, and make sure you sort of get back on top. 4-3 lead in the attacking round. Nero taking a gander with the sniper rifle.
Yeah, once again, his last life with the sniper rifle. If he falls here in this round, or the next time he dies, he will not be bringing it back out. He's been successful in the first bloods. He's been effective. He's been accurate. He's been dangerous. And he might not this time. Sneaky Snoopy on the crawl. This is what Nero sees. He will not be seeing Snoopy for quite some time. Ah, that's what we see. There he is. You sneaky devil. He's going to get this. Go on, Snoop. Round the corner. Here we go. Ha-ha! Bounces into the first kill now for his team, bet 3v3. Stop with the bomb. Craze, what a 2. Last man, instant transition, and a single bullet is all he's going to need. What a bounce back. Craze on an absolute run here, but they've lost Nasty. Nasty out in the wild. Another opportunity for a 1v3. And he's running, but no good. Ravens fighting tooth and nail to not let these rounds get away.
Yeah, and I think Boston might be a little too smart for their own good. The kill that Snoopy had, that was the bomb guy. But considering he was sniping, I don't think Snoopy would ever expect to even need to check it in that moment. Because after he gets this kill, if he just stays up top, it's perfectly fine. But considering they got the first blood on the top side of the map by a helicopter, I think the Boston boys were just worried about the bomb going towards B, so they looked to make a play. Meanwhile, Craze down low, the trap was set. Nice 2-piece for him, and another big round for Carolina.
Great work. Lurks 4 spree.
Same setup.
This time round, we're sending it. Cammy, beautiful work there. A little bit helping his friends. Finds the second man. The man advantage right now with the Ravens bleeding out. And Boston, we've seen you string rounds together, and now with an overwhelming advantage. The wind in your sails on the approach towards the A-bomb site. Surely you get this down. Cammy finds another 3 spree.
Slasher for the 1v3 as well, but already back down. It's going to be bomb planted. Very efficient. And of course, no real angles he can go through. Came there for the cleanup kill. But Miles, that was the exact same setup Boston used in their prior offensive round of 3 players setting up the firing squad, ready for that pinch to roll through. And I don't know if that's like a, you know, just a strat that Boston keep in the back pocket, or if that is calculated and tailor-made for Carolina, but they brought it out twice. They've had issues on the flank on that side, primarily from Slasher. But that round right there is exactly why they wanted. Carolina fell into the trap.
It feels more like an actual adaptation. They love going boat. They love going boat. Get the guns up and they're ready for them. It's a defensive move there from the Ravens that hasn't really paid off. 3 through mid. 1 player going towards plane side there with a B side. It's going to be nasty. I believe he might be. I don't think he's sniping. We're out of snipes. Or Boston. Stunned. Nero's player model groaning in agony.
Gotta recover. A tough moment and 30 seconds burned off the clock. And no first bloods just yet. Lurk's caught in a tough spot. He's challenged. That's okay. But they're leaning the bomb towards B. And this is a very difficult thing to pull off. So I don't know if Crazy's going to start to wrap back, because he has the bomb and he's not near any of his teammates. And his teammates are dying.
It's starting to get picked here. And these are long range kills. Perch with 2 on the round already. Over to Snoop. 1 pump and done. Nero's there. The bomb is long gone. And Lurk's now with that death. We go to the famed round 11, the first of the 2026 year. We didn't have to wait too long for this one, did we? Great round out, Purge. Nasty may have found the final blow. But Boston, we'll see who gets offense. Defensive rounds haven't been sweet.
Give me a Lurks versus Cammy 1v1 for game. That's what I want to see. It's a weird one, but I think it'd be good. Test the kid's metal.
Let's see what the COD gods have in store for us here. Round 11, gongs out. Cam. Oh, connection on the nade. Fighting forward we go. Slasher playing the island roll as ever. Crazed, great damage. Nero with a follow-up there on the cam. So no killer cam here in round 11. More activity as another sweet nade from the Ravens. Gifts from above. Now nasty 1v3. They know where he is. He's pinned, surely. He's finding another fight. Bomb planted chance. Nasty with a technical 1v3.
Well, you asked earlier what a scam is. Lurk's giving an early definition there. Nero and Slasher, more veteran players trying to hold on.
And Nasty. He's been gifted a window to get in towards the site. Will he check upstairs? Saw the head. Great damage. Has to get away with his life. The Ravens now shoulder to shoulder together. 1 up, 1 down. Nasty. Fast wrap. Don't hate this. Can he catch at least 1 man? He goes high. The perfect maneuver from Nero to cover his teammates' flank. The Ravens save the day in round 11 and tie of the series.
And beautiful nades rolling through, raining hell upon them. Miles, when we talked about this map, we said there's a lot of different ways you can win rounds. Nades a priority. Slasher got that one from across the map, if I saw that correctly as well. So that is, again, extremely well coordinated. I think Purge got naded at least 2 different times that map. I think maybe 4 total nade kills rolling through from Carolina. They're doing a little bit extra to get that round 11 win. Clean game through and through. Snoop might have given you 10. Doesn't matter. Even though the first blood battle was also won by Boston Breach. Does not matter. Ravens had the run. They get that dub. That is just an efficient game. All 4 players contributed.
Everyone doing the job. Lovely work. 4 assists there from Craze as well. He had an unbelievable 2-piece down by bomb site, down by motel. That was great work. Wow, folks, we're going to see an exposure hard point. Thank the maker. Then overload coming up next. Charles, not a huge amount separating our 2 teams here. This is a very, very good looking series on paper. I don't remember what the desk predicted because I wasn't paying attention to them. Desk, have you got one in this?
I was going Boston. You went Boston.
What?
Carolina?
It was
Just kidding.
That was completely
We flipped
correct.
it.
You're so funny.
I was going to try and steal a win that I don't feel like I deserve. Carolina Royal Ravens looking not the same in the hard point. This was a strong start to search, but Boston's not going away throughout the series. Let's take a look at game 2 and walk me through the comeback. How does Boston answer? Is it on the attack? Is it behind the snipers? What do you learn?
Yeah, I mean, you know, looking at this game, I thought, you know, Carolina Royal Ravens, like, they had a good idea on how they wanted to approach their offensive rounds. It's just what they weren't able to execute early on. They kept having craze, like, go through Delhi while they were trying to slowly push out the A site through Motel. Like, either Nero would get picked or things wouldn't go their way. As we got later on into this game, and namely that round 11, I liked the fact they all pushed, team-nated together to get that first blood, and Craze was with them to go in and try to trade out the kill in Delhi.
I thought it was great adjustments from South Boston Breach after they went down 3-0. Because, I mean, you allow Nero into that spot in top green. He just finds 2 when you thought everything was going your way. And then they start out pushing towards that A site, stop allowing Royal Ravens to get those players up close and personal towards that bomb site, which allows them to fight back in. And then it's Cammy on an island, just finding the kills, finding the picks to relieve the pressure from the side of Boston Breach. But it is that final round. Royal Ravens making that decision to just full fly towards that A site. That is the kind of quick, decisive decision-making that you need from a team like this.
5-3 was the score. It went all the way to a round 11. Nameless, the grenades, the explosions were the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if that was a thing where they knew, like, they're not going to have a trophy here. They used it in the round prior. Whatever it was a fantastic call. We found ourselves 1-1. Where in that game 1, I thought Carolina was going to run away with it early on. You look at the, you look up top at the score.
Really
it's like
P1.
Snoopy's getting absolutely fried.
He's 1-9, bro.
And they're up 15.
Let's take a look here at our game 1 highlights. It was all Royal Ravens at the first 2 minutes, it looked like. And then, Allie, we saw a bounce back. Was there an individual, or was it just better rotations that set up Boston in the second half?
It was the ARs for me from side of Boston Breach. I mean, there is a reason you picked up Nasty, and I feel like we really saw it in this map number 1. But I can't not bring up Cammy either, because he has been shooting in map number 1 and map number 2, and they're the reason they were even able to hang. Snoopy went from 1-12, ending 20-26. Big turnaround from him, and you can see it in that last set of rotations where Boston Breach kind of just runs away with it. It's when Snoopy got comfortable, was able to actually do his job on the map, and I think the ARs made the difference.
Yeah, you've now seen 1 hard point. You've seen 1 search and destroy. Who's the best player in the lobby so far?
I mean, right now, I think you kind of got to say Cammy. Cammy's having a sensational performance so far. I mean, same with Nasty, but Allie alluded to it. The ARs on the side of Boston has just been balling so far. Even early on in the search and destroy, like, I thought Nasty was about to win that one before.
Oh my God, me too. Every time it was Nasty in a 1v2, 1v3, we're like,
Yeah, so both those guys are performing.
He's the bullet away. All right, that is Nasty playing his heart out, and he will continue to do so as we go to Overload, and that will be our game number 3. You also heard Miles say, we're guaranteed to see exposure. You mentioned before the show even kicked off, that's the map you've been waiting to see.
Yeah, waiting to see it. We've had some changes to the P4. It's a room now. See how teams are going to approach it. If it's going to be a lockdown hill, right? They've been playing it for a couple of days now, the pro teams, right? So they'll be ready for it. All of us, we're just now starting to get used to it.
Allie, as we load into Overload, what are you looking forward to from these 2 teams? We're all knotted up. This is the swing game 3.
just kind of what the bloodbath is going to be looking like and who kind of takes over. That's what I've gotten from Overload so far, is it's just who's getting hot right and early and who kind of is starting to put you in that box in that first half.
Chance, you ready to see me in ranked? We're going to be grinding wagers soon, right, buddy?
As long as you're there on day 1, we'll be good to go there, Puckett. But if you give me like 2 days, yeah, we're going to get locked out.
Yikes.
Chance, you've been grinding wagers.
It happens to the best of us. Back to you, Miles.
Dude, the idea that I play wagers, I'm not playing for money. I'm older than Slasher, right? By 5 days. I had to look it up. I had to check the oldest player in the league. Early happy birthday. I mean, that shit is terrible. Either way, though, what's not terrible is going to be the map. It's going to be a different look, I think, between these 2 teams compared to what we saw from, like, Optic when they played it. But the underlying ideas are, I'm expecting to be very similar. I don't know how crazy these guys are necessarily going to be, but it's going to be a fun dynamic to look towards, and especially the fact that every single player has to be on point with their communication. You have to be very quick with your decision making, and, you know, like Shotzi's a good example. when he goes and lives inside of like the opposing team's base, he's having to facilitate and calm what's going on his end of the map, so his teammates know where to fill in like later on. It's a very difficult thing to pull off as an individual player, but if guys on these teams want to make those types of plays, if your communication is great, you can have an absolute field day. It'd be very fun to see if they can pull it off.
I think another key factor in success, especially on Den Overload, is the first man on the attacking team. You've got the EMP. You've got to be getting kills.
هذا يعلن عندك يا ابو فهود.
Or whoever's managing to get in there first. That
أعطيه
initial
صفه
gunfight
بحضره هذا.
is so essential.
والله.
Mention of the second guy so that your pistol player doesn't have to work too hard, so the carry doesn't work too hard, would also be great.
Keep
There's a lot to
forward.
consider here in the early days of
هذاك
to touch upon the exposure again, brand new hard point, totally different look at
والله
the map.
صفه
We in
ميوت
season
ولا.
1 have only just been able to touch that, but our pros have had a day or two at least, several scrims to figure out and see how it looks. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But Den is loading up once again, folks. We did have an issue just there with lobbies again. Day one, baby. We're working it all out. We're figuring it all out. Last game, though, let's look back at that round 11 chance while we get things ready. Round 11's, mate, it's as close as it can possibly get. This is, of course, the Ravens taking on Boston. This is how it all went down. Again, the nades, the nades, the nades. There's plenty of
بدأت المباراة.
here in Search and Destroy and
وليش؟
Cruise and Slash.
لا لا هذه
Working these ones
لقطات.
great to break through the flak jacket there as Nero picks up the second.
And Slasher, number 1 on the minimap, you see he's playing over towards boat. He's basically in spawn.
تحسها ولا النيد والله.
النيد من بداية الرسمون والله سطاوة.
Was not rocking flak jacket at all, so maybe that's why he died multiple times to nades in that game.
I actually think it might have been because he took nade damage from Cruise's nade.
Oh, did they actually double? It had to have been. I would be shocked if that was the
Craze
case.
and Nero doubled up their first. I mean, honestly, can we watch that one more time? I would love to try to pick apart whether it was the first nade or the second, because 3 frag grenades were thrown. We're doing it again. Roll the tape again. Roll it again. VAR for the Brits. We do have another again. I think that's what was going on there, man.
ايوه اسلم.
I think that's what was going on there because that round was a bang out.
ايش رايك اذا نزلت انا ولا نزلت انت نحط المشتركة ذي بالتنزيل تعرفها؟ دي 2 مدري ودي 2 مدري.
This is all like the extra.
وين بالتيك توك ولا وين؟
Flak jacket hit marker. Cammy had the
بالتيك
flag,
توك.
but I'm saying the second nade that rolls through from Purge.
ما اعرف له.
لأنه انا صوتي في المقطع عندك وانا عندي صوتك في المقطع عرفت؟
ابد تم.
انا وياك نقول في نفس الوقت.
ابد تم. بس علمني كيف اضيفها ما اعرف.
اني قبل انزل اظن الخيارات تحت اول ما قبل تنزل يجيك اضافه يوتيوب مدري دوتي مدري.
تم والله تم.
That's just that's a painful way to lose round 11. I mean, nades on point from Carolina, and the coordination, especially on the guys that do have the flak jacket, the real focal point.
Tisk. Check.
انا ما عرفتها لين دحين ما عرفت اضبطها 100% بس عرفت ان في خيار زي كذا.
Well, GG's. That's
نسال الشباب عادي. بعد ما نخلص نتكي
والله
نسال.
نسال هشام.
That is a nice nade.
لانه قد سواها.
Overall clocks, they're also in effect here in the Call of Duty professional world. So we do have big, mean frag grenades. Going to see more Semtexes in the respawn modes, I would imagine, but we'll see. We're about to get into one nearly right now. Chance Den Overload, as you said, the underlying sort of principles of what these guys want to be doing in the map or how they want to be playing is going to be the same. But we are going to see some sort of skill and stylistic changes. How are these teams going to be approaching this? Who's running the device? Is it going to be the first man, second man? We have this sort of conveyor belt system we talk about, or the production line where first guy, he might be pushing past the device to try to get kills, secure that zone, to secure the goal, secure the lane. Second guy picks it up or picks up the flank or whatever. I'm very interested to see how our teams play this out. We want more data, folks. We need more information, more tech on how this entire game mode is going to play out. We are waffling somewhat, boys and girls. Den Overload coming up soon.
You don't have to say we. We can talk about Den Overload. Like the rules of the map so far, if you're the right side spawn team attacking the left, you're attacking towards B. You can have one player maybe work through mid, work through the pinch to like find that opening, you get the timing, but you're forcing it towards that B zone. If you're on the left side team attacking towards the right, you can go through mid if you want, but you're always going to be going towards the
خلصوا علي انا نبغى المباراة اهو.
zone as well.
اي والله.
So those are the default roles. Each team, while there's 2 zones active, only have one.
طولوها قصيرة.
Prioritizing. That being said, any of the
بدت
teams
صح؟
that figure
لا
out
هذه يعني
different
مباراة
ways
فيز.
to play, different ways to approach those
هذا فيز ولا وش هو ذا؟
zones,
فريق ثاني ذا ولا؟
be the early difference makers in the game mode.
جي 2 اسمه.
It's again very,
أو
very
C2.
early days, even when back into BO4.
اي هذا اللي مقطع محفوظ لهم شكل المباراة اللي قبل.
Control
ايه ما هذه لا هذه حق امس يمكن. ولا حقت البطولة والله ما ادري.
اظن امس كان في مباراة صح؟
اتوقع ايه. بس أوبتك يلعب مباراتين ورا بعض يومين ورا بعض، لا ما اتوقع. هذه زمان ما بزمان يعني صار الله يمكن اسبوعي راح يمكن. او البطولة حقت قبل CDL.
ايه
البطولة ذيك الصغيرة عليها.
ذيك.
ايه.
Skill gap, indeed. Yeah, certain pistol players really are able to shine in those types of situations. So you're exactly right. If those two players getting next to that EMP device, you absolutely need to make sure you know exactly who you want to pick it up in any given moment. It's not always the movement guys that you want to have it. It might be your pistol players, your AR guys that are sort of the back pocket sniper type guys that are going to be able to show off the goods, but very dynamic as well. But even just for the idea, if we have our default rules about like, you know, right side team attacking the left side, it's always towards that B zone. We're seeing the teams when they're defending these situations off spawn, instantly everybody's wrapping back and coveraging over, playing those tight corners in the back left, playing in the back window. If you know what your timing is going to be on the attacking rounds, you could play off that. Let a guy cut through mid. If they're swinging on back, you cut them off and then work for like a shimmy play outright. It's a very type of thing, much easier said than done, a very difficult thing to orchestrate and recognize in game, but like, at least on Den specifically, that's something to look out for. The other two overload maps play very differently. Each one of them has their own sort of like splash.
ايه فات ترى خوارزميات التيك توك يقول لك تغيرت، ترى لازم تنزل القصة بين فترة وفترة، عرفت؟
ايه قاعد انزل سواليف قصص ودي انزل اليوتيوب. انا طويلة شوي.
لا تعرف حالتي يعني اي شيء.
شلون حالتي؟
زي حالة الواتساب.
ستوري قصدك؟
ستوري ايوه. يقول لك لازم تنزل ستوري.
اوكي. وين وجهك؟
كم باقي تبدأ؟ طولونا بردة فعلهم دي. باقي دقيقة و40 ثانية. السنايبر ضم جديد. تقول لي شاب والله شاب هنا تدبير الثاني بالبرد.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are hot to trot right into what will be a very fun game of Den. You caught me off guard with that one, brother. Nice one. Yeah, very excited, folks, to get into this, and hopefully we'll have no issues, and the lobby will be smooth sailing, friendly, and excited, and ready to rock and roll. As my man, hello, welcome, come on in. Who's that? It's you. Back to the broadcast. How you doing, Charles?
Doing great. Try not to jinx anything, but looking forward to the map once we get into it. It's going to be a good time. We can say more about these two teams, but for Carolina, still don't know what to say because we're still learning. And on the flip side for Boston, I don't know. I'm like ever so slightly disappointed in their S&D. It's okay, and I'll recover, and so will they. But like, I wanted just a little bit more. I think Carolina, just the nades. The nades are getting to me, Miles. It all
good nades. But that's Carolina good nades. That's Carolina good S&D. That's what it is.
It's fair.
When we get to see Carolina against other teams, and we're like, oh damn, Carolina good S&D. Carolina good nades. Welcome to Castle Scuff, the official castle of Den. As we get ready to party, the boys and girls, into Den Overload. Play ball or play EMP device, if you will. Battling over mid-map again. Once you grab that thing, if you get a score, it's going to go to the top side of the map on the respawn. But what do you know, ladies and germs? It's going to be a nice set of trades, even Stevens over the middle of the map. No one with a clear-cut advantage yet. And Purge, damn!
Oh my God.
Got him.
I mean, yeah, all right, there we go. Purge looking good with the sniper. Sorry, Drovic. Sorry, SMG in his hand. There's an extra kill. 4-0 start, and thank God Lurks put him down. And finally, the device has actually been picked up, and as is tradition, if you're the left side team attacking, actually, the A and B flip. B's always left, A's always right. On this map, you're going to be 95% of the time.
Boston on the attack towards B. Let's go for a quick listen in.
Nice, go get it. Nice. Ball to left, guys. Map control. One on trade. D back with 11.
بدأ الجيم.
One back left, guys.
وصل
Yeah, I'm still snap, guys. Okay, he's side drop me near. D back. Lurks D back. Yeah, there's two D back. I'm one shot. Absolutely. Take your time, Eric.
فوق هذه ورا يكون. ابو فود بدأ الجيم.
No, he's already through the right, okay? Near. Nice. One might push some left. Both here. Ball's in. He chopped the left. One's pushing up blue, I think, bro. One's already off side or something. Nice, one's already our side. Trust B. Trust. I don't see him. Yo, he's in close right corner, yeah.
حيك يا شنوب حيك.
Backed up, I think.
Zombie close, turn.
والله تعال.
On the ball. He's like close. On the heady. Backed up near.
Lane not close. For lurks, guys. I'm holding the pitches. You got Eric?
Yeah, I got it.
I heard.
Well, that's how it looks from one side of the map.
بدأ الجيم.
الله على طول وصلوها فريق
بوسطن.
كورة على طول وصلوها.
فيها شوف على طول تو بازي.
أيوة نيرو ماسك الفرق يقلع السطاوة اللي عندك. الله دبل لوركس دبل توبك.
سنوب يدبل.
سنوب يدبل.
وانقلب عليه بعد.
انقلب عليه بعد النيدات وهذه.
شوف.
نيد فلاش ينقلب عليك والله.
25 years old, I cannot believe it. 2 minutes to go in the game, and the Ravens were finally making a couple of steps forward.
And this is interesting. This might be a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because now you're just running into a blender. And so much so that even slashers sit here paranoid about the pinch, but it has just been a
نيرو ايش في على الفرد؟ يلعب فرد.
like trench warfare on the lower side of the map right now.
مسكت معه شكله معه سنايبر ولا ايه؟
ما ادري والله. يلعب فرد.
نيرو لسه يغير كلاس سنايبر شكله بيبدا يلعب فيه.
he might get 1 or 2 here.
الله كريز دبل.
He gets 1 right on forward. We're trying to keep running. Frontman Nero now, primary in hand. An M15 and Snoopy with a corner. It might not spell well for the Ravens at this point in time.
And this will be a pistol versus Dravic. He goes for the timing, and while he's got it in spades, now he's trying to be the frontline blocker, but he gets caught. That was a moment there for Boston. Just way too aggressive, I think, actually trying to work A. Maybe a difficult time reading the spawns. Not the easiest thing to do, but now the nades taking care of players. Frontline blocker down. That's 2 in the mix. Nero's going to get...
والله نيرو قاعد يلعب بالفرد يا ولد. غريب. 1-1 جابوا التعادل. يمكن هذا يمكن هذا افضل جيم شفته للحين في الطور ذا. تعادل. طاح نيرو.
طاح برا. انت البث عندك شغل مقدم عني 3 ثواني. والله شنو بيدبل. ما قدر ادربل. نيرو دبل.
Still trying to make a move. He's doing this alone. Anybody else here with him to get the kills?
They're going towards B.
Purge. Wait. Craze.
والله جابوه. يلعبون بفرد عشان اسرع.
He pump fakes them with the, you only get to see with the players going for a second or 2 and Purge jukes out the whole lobby. What a moment. The first half comes to a close. Boston up by 1.
Oh my, yeah, I mean, what a gun, by the way, the Dravic, good lord. And this is very surprising. This is the first early cap. That is just sort of the brute force, get everybody in a position.
3-1 صح؟
A long stalemate.
لا 2-1. 2-1.
Score. That just looked like insane timing.
It was. We'll see it.
الله جيم حامي.
غريب هذا اترك
من جيم مباراة اليوم.
Which way is he going? We don't know. It was just enough time for Boston Breach to squeak it in, the buzzer beater, whatever you want to call it. Second half, Breach start to play with some confidence.
That's also a moment. I wonder what the comms were like coming in from Carolina. If they were just like extra paranoid, kill the guy that was in mid first, or just a small moment of tweaking, if you will. Either way, the opening salvo here in this.
يا القلب يو.
Snoopy's got the extra advantage to start getting
قلب سنوبي.
towards that B zone, but his
لا
teammates
شو
are
اسمه
nowhere in position to
كريزي.
run the EMP, and Snoopy gets caught as well. So Boston are going to be taking this real slow.
Carolina Royal Ravens down.
لوريكس.
In the second half.
No.
Let's go for a listen.
No.
And one push to our mid already. Their side mid. Yeah, you gotta be their side mid touch ball. We're still missing like our side. Bro. Yeah. We're missing Purge.
Front lobby Snoop.
You might be a back seeker. Yeah. Snoop front lobby weak.
We gotta play.
شنو هنا بدأ يشد يا.
والله دبل.
الله بدأ يشد الله مجنون.
One shot like lockers. Give me lobby. Hit one.
There's 2 lobbies. They ran.
والله مجنون.
Short guys.
ليش؟
I'm short right now. I'm short. 2 short. 3 short.
شرح
I
الله.
got one. Another short.
نمرة.
I'm left. I'm going left. Let's go.
Good. Go.
الله شنو هنا؟ يو كام 3 بيك.
I pinch.
لا خويه شاله.
شغل خويه ايه.
I'm outer. Doesn't matter. I'd even him. It was Cammy's one shot.
صوت هذا واحد ترى بوسطن.
He's on the right corner.
RG.
ثلاثة.
They might go pick it.
Me too. My pinch.
Outer Cammy. I'd even him. Cammy, hit you outer weak. Two more.
شوف كمي دب شا 3 كمي.
Enter Snoop.
Okay, we're missing one.
يو.
My bro.
I'm
Outer, close outer. Done.
Nice.
I saw that.
أنا بديت أهوش أنا.
He pinched out. Their window.
Window. Snoop. One shot outer.
In window.
عيني يا سنوبي. عيني ما خلاه سنوبي.
I spawn B2. I got it.
This is the move for the Ravens. The first 2 guys push forward, try and get the kills. The timing is not great for them, and they're starting to lose these fights. A patient Boston Breach chance punishing them here on the top side of the map.
And they're worried about the pinch as well. They're taking it slow because they know they need to get these kills. Boston very turtled, and they also don't want to pick up the EMP just yet because you don't want to have the pistol out. You want to get the kills first. There's 2 in the feed, and you're pushing forward. There's 3. That's the go button.
Here we go. Try to get forward. There's the grab, and you grab it.
ولا الفرد.
Whoa, here we go. Lurks with a pistola. Can we find a few more?
الله كامي هذا مجنون.
Long range work. Cammy's there, and he trades. Yes.
3 بيك يا كامي مجنون.
Slasher making moves through mid. Snoopy off spawn. Takes a moment, but Craze lands
حيك سنوبي. لا لا لا.
اوه يا عيني كامي.
والله ما خلوه يوصل. حبيبي خذ الآلة وابعدها، لا تخليهم ياخذونها يخشون كذا. الله مسكين.
رسبن رجعت رسبن، يبغى ترسبن من في النص. رسبن في النص اذا ما اخذها.
والله الله ذكي كذا.
Trying to get this done all by himself. A three-man wrap and a moment of serious disconnect from the Ravens. A minute to go.
Well,
now we go. Now we fly Boston.
And they've left number 4 in the dust as well. I mean, they're just on the other side. Snoopy trying to do with the movement, but at least getting the device in that spot with 50 seconds left. Maybe it's enough, or maybe it's the late opportunity for Carolina to make the play. Lurks, the front man on the job.
هذا من سنوبي نزل كوستريك 2-3.
بقول له تعادل.
ما اقدر ما يقدروا هذا بك. ولا ناس تدبل الطور ذي، هذا صعب مرة.
والله مرة صعب.
It might be here, playing the trades effectively. Pistol no good. That's it as soon as it drops. The clock stops too. Boston breach in the end. Little too much there on Den. Sorry, Ravens. I was really trying to spell doom for you there. I was trying to wax lyrical. And you managed to get it into OT, mate. You managed to get it into OT. Shout out Snoopy for clotheslining the Royal Ravens in every single possible moment. This is the final few seconds here of the map. Actually, Purge. A nice clutch kill on the man on the pinch. Fighting forward.
لا تقول لي دبلهم الأربعة هنا. 2-1. الحين 4 راوندات تصير صح؟
لا انت اتوقع.
لا ما تنتهي 2-1 اليوم. فالكون 3.
لا انت 2 والله ما ادري. لا انت 2. شوف فوق مرة. هم يعطونك راوندين، الراوند الاول تكمل على الراوند الثاني، فهمت؟
situations to attack that atypical zone, but it is just a very novel map in the way that it plays, and the pistol change I think is going to impact this map the most, just because of like, you know, the situation where Carolina is knocking on the doorstep towards that B zone for 2 minutes straight. They just cannot break that back line with those close spawns rolling through. So this seems like to be the map that would be most difficult with the pistol change. I don't know how the other two are going to play, but that's why it's going to be the talk of the town.
It's already the talk of the town. I mean, now I'm looking at the map, I'm like, man, maybe you can move it out of that little room and move it into the courtyard directly in front of it, and maybe that changes things enough to make that B zone a little bit more manageable. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a dev.
ان شاء الله بوستن يحسموا. لا بوست يحسمها يفكها ان شاء الله.
حسام بوست خلاص.
اي زي هارد بوينت. والله ما كنت شفت هارد بوينت في الماب ذا. خلينا نشوف ان شاء الله تكون حلوه.
بيجي غريب يا شيخ، الخريطة كبيرة.
خريطة كبير ماب كبير. انا يمكن
ينفع اوفرلود، ما ينفع هارد بوينت.
والله ممكن سيرش بضع ينفع.
واللي انت يمكن ايش؟
بعد المباراة هذه اطفي والله سبت. اني صاحي بدري عرفت.
There is an opportunity for punishment. We will see where the true money lies here on Exposure. Very interested to see how the new map plays out. Big changes indeed. Same for Toshin. I'm not sure if we are playing. No, we haven't seen any Toshin yet, but excited to see that one, man. Excited to see that as well. A lot of big changes here in the Black Ops 7 world. So early on in its life cycle, it's still a babe. It's still a young babe. Still unsoiled by the way of the world. But yeah, let's get into this Exposure. I'm hot to trot, man. I'm ready to party. The dens have slowed it down just a smidge. I'm ready for a lightning fast and an absolute rip-roaring game of Exposure. And again, who knows? Maybe we get a game 5. Maybe we get a game 5. But if the first hard point was anything to go off chance, what, 250, 153? Boston have got the chops in the respawn modes, for sure.
Just the fact that Snoopy had such a poor start on Colossus. Again, 1-9 at one point, 4-16 at one point. And he like brought it back. He brought it back to like a 0.8. So it's not even like he was necessarily going bonkers. They won by like 100. So if I'm looking at that, I'm very fearful for the side of the Carolina Royal Ravens. Even on the like a 3-2 game in overload, not necessarily too dramatic on either side, but I think in the kills column, Carolina lacking just a little bit. So personally, I'm fearful. I think Nasty and Cammy going to be trying to have a field day.
We do have a quick look at our scuff play of the game, our first of the season, and it is going to be Purge with the halftime score. A little bit of overtime when you're holding the device. If you still got a hand on it, you get 30 seconds to make something happen. Shot clock, sort of a final chance, and he manages to make something special as he cuts through the middle of the map. Nobody home for it. And again, great timing on his teammates coming up through the top open castle side of the web.
And so turtled as well. Like the guy's got a pistol. If your teammate died from like the middle of the map, they had the timing to play it aggressive. Because I think even what we saw Boston do in like the opposite situation, and there you see a literal goal line finish. They like went and hunted down the guy that had the EMP device, because the second you get the kill on him, it drops, round ends. So they could have isolated him as he's running through mid and just gotten a freebie kill, but Carolina panicked, turtled up, and again, new situation. These pros have dealt with this game mode in this form for a few days now, so again, a lot to learn, but definitely a sore spot there from Carolina, something that might haunt them in the end.
I think at the end of the day, Craze was probably the icon he saw. He thought the guy was
توقعاتك
outside the
يسمونها
lobby as opposed to
بوسطن.
the side room, the weapons room.
والله
And again, he
بوسطن
looks left, he
توقع
sees a red dot, he's trying to
من
tell
الأولى.
he looks right, the guy's already there. Brilliant work from Purge, perfect juke, perfect timing on
Hard point.
literally 6
إيه.
variables had to go his way, and
محسومة
it did
خلاص.
for that halftime score. Our
محسومة.
first scuff play the game of the year.
توقع
هارد شفنا لعبة من الأولى في الماب
Almost ready
الأول
to get
كذا.
into exposure, ladies and
ايه
gentlemen.
خطيرين في الهارد بوينت.
Of that one. It's the first day, jitters.
اثنين
It's the first
يمسكون
day
اثنين
Gremlin's getting
يدرعمون
out of the way. Isn't that right, Chance?
Second day too, baby.
تحسهم مع بعض مو بزي الرويال متفرقين.
ايه متفقين.
I don't know. It's gonna be fun.
I don't know what to expect
تكتاكا.
for this exposure. Oh, please get the iron out. May as well be Belgian at this point. I think what we're looking at here with exposure is going to be a very, very different style of hardpoint map. As you said, could be some very punishing hills if you don't get it right. This is one of the larger maps in Black Ops 7, which sounds crazy because they're all pretty speedy. But yeah, it genuinely should be a very, very different look. See, maybe the more sort of fundamentally sound or like rotation heavy team like Carolina, who like to get in the hardpoint first, might pay off for them. But we saw the way the breaks were on Colossus, and it was a riveting and ruthless attack as Boston Breach really nailed them. But yeah, this is again just how Colossus looks, how it feels. Big map, Chance. Big, fat, wide, open P1. She's girthy. She's a girthy P1.
بدأ الراوند او عفوا الجيم الرابع.
I feel like this is a map that like is
يا يحسمها بوسطن يا تعادل الريال ونروح الماب الخامس.
Teamwork needs to be on point. Nades need to be on point. I think that might be a really important thing to keep in the back of your mind as we play this map. I mean, this game in the early days might have more nade kills than we are accustomed to seeing. Maybe since like World War II, like 5-6 years ago, when we started off with nades being entirely overpowered. So be on the lookout, especially for guys like Nasty as well. Again,
هذا في آخر في آخر شو اسمه هذا جيم.
Absolutely. Solar panels there on the right hand side. The scarf solar panels, the official solar panels. Or the monster energy, the official. Look at that. I mean, that's a form of energy the monster didn't know that they were getting into. That kind of solar. Also, shout out the artists. That is an unbelievable amount. An unbelievable amount of solar panels. As yeah, we're almost ready, folks, to get into this one. A slight, again, a technical issue as I readjust myself in my chair. Again, for exposure, big map. We'll see how things play out. I mean, realistic, guys. I'm just gonna level with you, chat. I haven't got my drops yet, so I'm stalling for as long as I possibly can. I'm gonna continue to stall with this quick break.
ربع دقائق. تضيفون 5 دقائق زيادة ليش؟
يا ولد كانوا مزودوها هذولي.
زادوها 5 دقائق الكباير.
اهينهم.
والله اني زيك بديت اهوش.
انا والله عيوني صارت غمض يا ولد.
انا ما اقدر اكمل انا المباراة كيك الصراحة. هذه
انا والله لو في طاقة كملت والله بس ما. جدوف انا طفيت يا من جدوف والله. شكلي بسحب عليهم.
عادي عادي تقفل.
والله يا اخوان اعذركم انا والله طفيت. اشوفكم على خير مع السلامة. اعذرنا من جدوف والله طفيت.
عادي عادي
يا حبيبي من جدوف مع السلامة.